Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The only comment that matters is Atalanta and Zubimendi is still trying to land at Liverpool. Absolutely. They are looking for a DM and the name is Martin Zubimendi. For Liverpool, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim again. Welcome to Rivals Rumble, people. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO. Spurs, you get Solanke, you don't get Solanke, you're still going to bottle it and not going to make top 4. I think that is what's going to happen. Chelsea getting Joao Felix and removing Raheem Sterling and looking for a centre-back. Surprise, surprise. You might get a centre-back. United with a 10 out of 10 window, the only club in the league to get a 10 out of 10 window. Ugarte is on the way to Man United on a loan. Believe it or not, these guys are moving serious. And Merino, the legend, says that he is still swimming from Spain all the way to England. He hasn't arrived at the shores of England yet to join Arsenal. And of course, we have to talk about a little bit about Joao Felix and Chelsea and all this stuff. But listen, hit that like button if you're here. Big up everybody that is here with us. We got a brilliant panel for you today, with Will joining finally from the studios of 365. Of course, Will is here, Olo's here, Ahmed is here, Dayo is here, and Ahmed moved to 0 now because he's +1.
Positive one. Positive one.
Positive one now. Big up everybody that is saying Genoa. Maybe instead of you typing Genoa, you bozos in the chat, maybe you can like the video. And by the way, there is a guy that joined the party and he deserves to be kicked out. Of course, he joined the party and typed Genoa in the chat as well. I saw the comment. So he deserves to be out of the stream for a bit. But big up everybody. Maybe we need to get to 300 likes, people. Let's get to 300 likes, people. Of course, I'm gonna be lagging in a second. Hit the like button, guys. Let's get to 300 likes. We can only start with one club. Spurs. What happened? 81% position or something like this?
No, it's not 81. It's like 71.
71. Okay,
Yeah.
71. Dominating.
Look, I mean, we
not
dominated the
scoring.
game for like 68 minutes. And that's exactly the amount. 68, not 69, not 67, 68 minutes. We dominated the game. We were the only threat for that period of time. And it was just a matter of falling asleep in getting comfortable with you having the ball for the entire first, 43 out of the first 45 minutes. And you shut off mentally for a little bit. That was it. It happens.
That happens a lot, in the last 40 games. You get 40 games or you get only 3 clean sheets in the last 30 games. You know that. Only 3 clean sheets.
I don't know about that because we did more. We had more clean sheets than that last year. We had more than 3 clean sheets. So
No, in the last
you must
30
be
games, I think after game week 10.
after game week 10. It's possible. It's possible. We had a lot of injuries after game week 10.
But you get my point. You can't just go into games conceding goals from the first chance you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was the first chance.
I don't think that we necessarily conceded that many opportunities. I mean, how many shots on target did they even have in the entire
They
game?
didn't even have a lot of chances. They didn't.
Exactly. So it's not like we defended poorly. It was literally just one moment of losing focus.
Yeah, but
I don't know what Pedro Porro was doing when he just watched the ball come into to Vardy and just let him hit it without doing anything.
Well, we know Vardy's a dangerous striker. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know why Pedro Porro left him completely unmarked.
Exactly.
Literally standing right in front of him. Didn't even move. Then put his hands up afterwards but you're supposed to do something. Romero is literally pushed forward to mark the other 2 guys towards the near post. The cross should have never come in the first place. I personally blame Destiny Udogie for that one. Not gonna lie. I think that guy makes a lot of mistakes. He gives the ball away carelessly all the time. He makes lazy passes that they get intercepted quite often. He plays people in, obviously from last season, and then he didn't get touch tight. Like he literally just let the guy scoop a ball. It wasn't even like it was a rocket cross coming from wide. The guy was standing there completely still, scoops the ball into Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy would raise his hand, I'm right here. He had plenty of time. Didn't close his man down. Let the ball come into the box. Pedro Porro should have picked him up, but I blame Destiny Udogie for that personally. I think he's a young player that doesn't make good decisions.
You remember Fatawu's header, by the way, that could have made it 2-1. I think you remember that spell that Leicester had towards the end. And he just missed a free header and goal. Honestly, they could have actually just stole that game from you, honestly. And for me, it feels like the way that teams are trying to set up is just to counter you essentially. Just wait 1 or 2 passes.
But neither were counterattacks.
No, but I'm saying in general the way they set up. Of course, that one wasn't. But the way they are setting up against you is just to find that time to counter you. But obviously, in what happened at Leicester wasn't the case. But I just don't know, man.
You know the problem? I agree with Ahmed. You know the problem is with Spurs? That on the eye, and I'm just going to say, and I want the other guys' opinions. On the eye, Spurs under Ange looks so good. Amazing. The way you pass the ball, the way the players move, the inverting, everything looks fantastic. And I want the chat to get involved in this. You look great on the eye. It looks like you're in full control, but it looks like you are not. Because if this stays the same and you keep doing this and this and this, you should have beaten Leicester yesterday. As you should have beaten a lot of teams last season. Lots of teams. Looks fantastic. You watch the game and it looks like, oh my God, this Spurs team is gonna blow these guys away. This is gonna be 3-4-0. Out of a sudden, it's a 1-1, a 2-2, a 2-1. It's the same story. Solanke missed 2 headers. You know what I mean? You miss so many. You miss so many. Youngman's son missed Pedro Johnson across the goal. Son should have been there, and he wasn't there. You know what I mean? Pedro Porro should have been there. I feel like there is a lot of Spurs should have been. This guy should have done. But in terms of game plan, looks fantastic. It looks absolutely great. I'm going to give you an example of a coach that looks like this. Vincent Kompany with Burnley, every game it looks like this. Every game they looked fantastic on the pitch, but they wouldn't win. Of course, with the difference in quality of the players between you and Burnley of last season. But it looks great. That's why he got that. That's why, by the way, he got the Bayern Munich job, because he looks fantastic on the pitch. They control position, pass the ball very well. But at the end, the results are not there.
I don't remember
this
them looking
continues-
fantastic when we beat them 5-2.
Burnley looked the best. Yeah, but Burnley, again, but that's what I mean. They get beat because the quality of the player, but they pass the ball around and they play this position-based football. Maybe not against Spurs, but against most teams. They
You know
look
the
like
United
they
game?
can build a play. Yeah,
When
it
they
looks
played
fantastic. Lost the game.
Remember Burnley at home? It was Burnley at home. They played against it, and they were literally cooking United. But United one chance, Bruno Fernandes goal. Literally, that's what happened.
Yeah, listen, we can one game can isolate. You can always take one game in isolation.
But this story
listen,
has been going all over
and-
the last season.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
no. See, listen, a very wise man once said after a Champions League game, it's the history of the Tottenham. And it's just this. I've always said this about Tottenham.
Will,
right?
you're gonna take that, buddy, bro. Listen.
No, that's not.
Oh,
I mean, he
man,
knows
this
it's
said it's a
logical
quote.
fallacy.
But-
right?
But anyways, I've always
Just
always
taking the
said
mic.
this. I've always said this though.
The
about
piss,
Tottenham.
man.
And you can go back through history, and I'm actually saying seriously, go back through history. They've always been a team where, no matter if they're winning or losing, they always play an exciting game. I've always said that outside like Arsenal, they were actually one of those teams that you can actually watch play football, because they're either spectacularly good or spectacularly bad. And even in the times when they had Merino and they had Conte, it's always been the same thing. You always know. You never know where you're going to get with Tottenham. And I think the game yesterday was just a microcosm of that exact thing, where they're spectacularly good, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the switch flips, and all of a sudden, it just look like they don't know what they're doing. And actually, funny enough, it was when the injury happened that they seemed to get some control back in the game, because at one point, it looked like Leicester were playing like a Premier League team, and I think Leicester didn't look that good. They couldn't string two passes prior to till they scored. So it's weird, but I don't know.
Yeah, because it changes the energy, right? Like
It
when you
is a
score a
cha-
goal,
it's
it changes the energy. You go from feeling under pressure to now having confidence and being able to play without pressure, because the game's even again.
That's true.
It's psychological in any sport. It's that way in basketball. It's that way in baseball. It's that way in football, right? When your team has a momentum, momentum's a real thing in sports. We got the momentum back. We finished that game stronger than they did. They had a 10 to 15 minute spell where they performed well, and we took control back at the end of the
You know,
end of
there's
the
a
match.
Tottenham,
It looked
bro.
like we were going to score again, and we almost did in
Yeah.
the 97th minute if Richarlison wasn't a
Almost
bum.
is not enough.
Yeah. Well, with Tottenham, yeah, I've always said that Ange is a quality manager and he's a good coach. But the thing is with Tottenham, yeah, is that they lack real quality. Solanke should have had about 2 goals in that game, if I'm being honest. I think Manderson put in a really good ball in. I think it was a set piece or something, and one of the guys like hit it wide. Or something.
Header.
Yeah, it was the header.
turn
Yeah.
where he
I think
kicked it straight
Manderson
at
was
the
their best
keeper.
player in it. Manderson was their best player. I think he was quality.
Yeah,
that
he was.
game.
Madison was the best player on the
He
day.
was their best quality. Yeah.
Brendan Johnson again. I
He's
said is
useless,
weak,
by the way. That guy.
Yeah.
I don't rate him.
and
Oh
that's
my god,
that's
Brendan Johnson, bro.
that's why I said we needed a winger, and we didn't sign.
And
Any-
Werner coming
any
off the
good
bench as well.
wingers.
Like, come on now.
Bro.
I said this last season that we needed wingers. Did I not?
If he had
Did I not say
if he
we
had like
needed-
a better squad,
But don't you have the other guy, the new guy from Burnley? Is he not gonna play regularly for you?
We don't know
Odegaard,
yet.
no.
Like he just came. Like Dominic Solanke didn't play in preseason. This is his first match, like first game at all that he's played in his first shirt. He's done nothing but train with the squad. So you got to give him a little bit of slack on it. I don't understand why. Yes, Son should have not hesitated when that ball came across. He stopped running for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I mean that's one mistake. He played well the rest of the game. That whole buildup, all of the buildup, the goal itself came from Son creating that breaking the lines and playing the ball into Madison. And then Madison played it to Porro and Porro scored. I don't understand why people are saying Son didn't play well.
it's just for me. He's not like he might have created like off the. I don't see him as a threat like that as a winger though. Like as an out and out winger.
I think-
The entire first half went through Son Heung-min. So
Yeah,
I don't understand what you're talking about.
I think most people expect more from him, being that he's the captain now, and you know, he was when Harry Kane was there. It was always Harry Kane then him, and now there's no Harry Kane there anymore. It's him. So I think that's
Expect
why
him to
people.
do what? Create
No,
something from things that don't exist?
I'm just saying that this is why people are saying he didn't play, because they've set a high expectation for him. That's all it is.
Yeah,
So it's
there's a
not
lot of
case
irrational people in the world. So
yeah, well, you can call him irrational. Then he needs to step up. He's your captain. The minute that goal was scored, you guys had no determination to get back in the game. It was clear. The minute that goal went in,
except
and
we did.
that's the only thing that if you tied the game, you dropped 2 points at the beginning of the season. Fine, it's one game in isolation. We can look at it, but the is you look totally disjointed as soon as a goal went in as a team that dominated for 68 minutes. Had 71% possession, literally was crushing Leicester. Leicester, for me, is the worst team this year. And I'll tell you why. Not only did they lose their manager that brought them up into the Premiership, right? They lost a bunch of some of their best players, and they brought in a new manager, and they haven't even replaced some of those players yet, fully. So they're not, to me, they're one of the weakest teams. If anybody should be rolling them over, it should be Tottenham. There should be no, we did and we almost.
They almost made it two as well.
But you did not. It was a tie. The points on the table.
Yes, the result was a tie, but the play on the pitch, we rolled them over.
The results on the pitch, the same way you tell me the results on the pitch mean nothing if you don't win. The point is there's no winning here. You didn't win, so the results don't matter anymore. Nobody's going to remember.
We're talking about the play, right?
No, we're talking about. We said what happened. You played well, but you tied the game to a Leicester City that you should be destroying.
Better.
To a Leicester that you should be destroying. Point taken.
Do you know what?
Did you though? We dominated them more than City dominated Chelsea, and Chelsea won 2, or City won 2-0.
Did you play better? Well,
yeah.
When your XG is very similar to them, are we now saying that having ball position means I played better?
Again, don't mention XG unless you know what it means. XG is only talking about the difficulty of the shot.
Mm-hmm. But yours
it means, it doesn't mean quality of chances. It doesn't mean chances created. It doesn't mean any of those things.
But do you know what? Do you know what I would say to you? Is that I just think
they had 2 big chances. They had 2.
Yeah.
You had 15 shots. They had 8. Well, maybe that's
how many on target did we have compared to how many they had on target?
You had a lot. You created a lot. You created a lot of half chances. But the problem was when it came to the big moments, your guys just didn't step up. That's what it was.
How many half chances do we create if you guys are literally saying that Solanke should have had 2, Son should have had 1?
That's why I'm calling them half chances.
I hate.
So how long can this take? Should.
Wait, I hate to do this, but I think you guys are really doing Spurs a disservice. I think that if you look at that first half, they absolutely dominated that game. It was criminal that they couldn't create more chances to score in that first half. Right, I don't think Leicester were in that game. I think Leicester were passengers. They couldn't string 2 passes. Every time they tried to pass the ball, Spurs pressed them. What happened was that
won the ball back up the pitch several times.
Yeah, but only what we're saying is that the minute Leicester scored, they totally capitulated for 15 minutes. The point is what I was saying. Will, I'm not taking away from what you did in the first half, in the first 68 minutes. No, you can never do that. Watching that game. Of course, Tottenham dominated from top to bottom for the first 60 minutes. My point was that goal went in and Tottenham looked like a Sunday league team as compared to Leicester. They were scattered. And I was and in my mind, I'm like, listen, I get it. Goals sometimes, of course, goals always change so it's the mentality then. Goals change the progress of things. No, it is the mentality. The goal went in and suddenly they just looked so disjointed. After the injury, I think they had enough time because it took a while for that to get him out. Everybody took a deep breath and then they regrouped themselves and they played better till the end of the game. But in that 10-15 minutes where Leicester was playing, it just I was like, this is not the same team. If you came in and caught the game when after Leicester scored, and you never saw what happened in the first half and the first 18 minutes of the first half, you would look at Tottenham and be like, Ange out.
But then you would literally not have a good opinion of what that game
but that's what I'm saying.
was because the game is 90 minutes, not 15.
But Will, how do you go? I'm saying, how does the team go from dominating that hard, dominating that much, to one goal and just totally capitulate?
Hold on. The exact same way that Manchester City dominated the first half against Chelsea, then the first 15 minutes of the second half, and then Chelsea went on a 5-6 minute run where City were completely under pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna
that was
but what I'm
fine.
saying is, no, City were
and
under
Dyer-
pressure. No, City were
wait.
under pressure, but City off the ball looked like they knew what they were still doing. I'm saying you guys look like you didn't know what you were doing in those 15 minutes, is what I'm saying. The big difference is City without the ball, under pressure, or any other team without the ball, under, because it's football. Teams will pressure you. Any other team putting you under pressure, fair enough to say, look, hey, it's how you look out of shape and what you do with the shape and how you defend and how you guys look like they were cutting through you and nobody knew what to do. Literally,
But-
that's what I'm saying. That's the big
There's
difference.
no one that
I-
even got
I
in
agree.
behind. What are you talking about? There was
I-
nobody
Hold on.
cutting
There are
through us.
20 minutes. There is 20 minutes after the goal scored until Spurs took control again when Madison was subbed out.
15.
Leicester had a little bit of more position from minute 58 until he left in minute 80.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
15
but we'll-
minutes.
wait.
Leicester had a little bit of more position and they had more chances than you. Well,
But-
I think
wait,
you're
so-
not getting the point.
I can
You
literally
look
see the
good all
possession
day.
radar. It was from
Wait.
minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The goal was scored 11 minutes after the first half. And then that for 15 minutes, Leicester was the higher threat. And then after that, Spurs dominated the rest of the second half.
and
You can
also
see it. It's literally marked minute by minute.
and also
I'm
and also
actually-
and also
I'm
wait,
looking at it
one
as
second.
well.
And also listen, like it can happen to any team. I mean, let's take Aston Villa against Arsenal last year. We were dominating the game. They scored and we just looked like we didn't know how to play football anymore, right? It can happen to any team at any time. Like this isn't a pattern yet. If it happens for the rest of the season, then we can say it's a pattern. But like I think Will said it right. And again, I can't believe I'm defending Tottenham, but I have to be objective here. When they conceded, it's a momentum shift. You got a crowd behind you. In basketball, coaches will take timeouts to quell the crowd because
Mhm.
the momentum is with a team. So it's natural that look, Leicester got a goal out of nowhere. The players going
By
to
the way, it is a pattern. By the way,
Because it's been happening
Spurs
previous
were the
season.
guys.
Oh,
The Spurs were forget before season. I'm talking about Ange Postecoglou. Spurs was the highest position team in the league last season, behind
highest,
Manchester
but
City,
close.
and not by 4. Second, you were the second behind Manchester City. You're the second behind Manchester City last season as a team, right? And you still finished 5th after leading the table after game week 10, which is more than quarter of the league. Injuries, not injuries. You still played the same way. I'm saying this. Spurs look great. The results have to match that looking great thing. They have to match them because the other teams will like. I know it's game week 1, but if it stays like this, and it's a pattern. This is not a new Spurs. We have seen this last season. You played better than Chelsea, even after the first record. You
That's why
remember?
they need.
Yeah, I
that's
don't
why
doubt.
they
I'm
need
telling you
to-
because it's quality.
You
There's a
played better
difference.
than
No,
all the
100%.
majority of the teams.
Look, I
created
don't.
more chances than Man City.
I'm not
and you
arguing with
lost.
you, right? But it's the difference in
And you
between the
still lost.
quality. Okay, for example, people talk about our defense
You have
last
quality.
season.
Well, you bought
Hold on.
Solanke. He was one of the highest guys to score.
Yeah, but he
last
hasn't
season.
played yet. This is literally his first 90 minutes in a Spurs shirt. Didn't play in preseason, right? He hasn't played with the team. He's had what, 2 weeks of training, and that's it. And you expect him to come out and
That was
bury every goal that he puts
that was
up?
a weird thing that you guys did as well, Tottenham. If you knew you were going to pay 65 million, why didn't you just go at the very beginning of the window and just pay it and get him
Dude,
in?
it's
I think-
Daniel Levy. Don't get me
yeah,
started
it's
on
crazy.
ownership.
It's like
Ownership
you
are
knew-
clowns,
it's like,
right?
It's
You're
like
not
him
going to
saying,
get.
like,
Ownership
going
are
to-
clowns. He backed Andrew 420 million euros.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they're still
They're the
clowns.
highest spenders.
You think
You
okay?
literally
Sports
backing the
on Gray
coaches
is backing
for a lot of
Postecoglou for
money.
us to be successful this season? I don't think so.
You
Yeah,
went
I
in there, one of the most sought strikers in the league, paying the top dollar for the guy. What else do you want? If Arsenal went on and got that guy, we
I
would
have no
been
problem with the
sitting here
Dominic.
saying
Look, there are a
Arsenal
lot of Spurs
amazing
fans.
well.
There are a lot of Spurs fans that are complaining about the Solanke signing. I'm not. I like
And
the
you are
signing. I
cleaning
think it's a good signing.
Deadwood like
Missed out on
whatever.
Xerxes, didn't you? Missed out on Xerxes, my striker. you know.
Oh my!
I don't think that there's a big
One
that much
game,
of a difference
rest.
between Solanke, Watkins, Tony. Right? I think those three players are about equal in ability, finishing quality. If you look at the numbers, they're all about the same. Right? I'm not upset with the Dominic Solanke signing. I think it's a good signing. I'm looking forward to it. But the rest of the signings that we made this window, Bergvall, like I think those are good signings for the future. How much is the Gray and the Bergvall signing going to help us this year? Although I thought Bergvall was the only sub that looked halfway decent when he came on the pitch. The blonde
Buff one.
Swedish guy that apparently
Yeah.
nobody knows his name.
Apart from when he got, apart
You know
from
what
when
it
he
is,
got
though.
screamed at
You
by
know what it
Vicario.
is. If you know what it is with Tottenham, yeah. Tottenham, like the thing is, they play good football. I've said it so many times here, but it's quite obvious that they lack quality in it, like in the attacking department, especially in the wingers as well. They just lack
Yabni,
quality.
how?
We have no
Ahmed?
wings.
I'll tell you why. I'll
Mahrez
tell you
is
how.
one
But
of the
they
best
already. But the thing is,
playmakers.
I'll tell you.
Ahmed, the quality
The right
in the
wing-
name, Solanke, Son.
Madison.
Yeah,
Solanke.
but Son's slinky, no problem.
Son,
We're talking about the
Madison.
right wing. We need a
No, but
third.
the
We
thing
need a
is-
second winger.
You
Son's
can't
not.
have a Arsenal played the whole last season without a left winger, guys. He came
Yes.
second. They took
Yeah,
one
but
out.
Come on,
He can
bro.
still
Trossard
do
was their
something for
second
you,
highest
surely.
scorer.
Yeah, but Arsenal are in a
By the way,
completely different stage to
I don't
Tottenham.
like Brennan Johnson, guys. I don't like Brennan Johnson, but at the end, he isn't like that awful. Like he isn't the Son. He isn't amazing.
No,
But-
he's a Martinelli-esque type of a player. And look what happened in the first half of the season when Martinelli was starting on the left wing for Arsenal. They struggled. And when Trossard took over the starting position on that left-hand side and was scoring goals after goals, the second half of the season looked a lot better.
What about Kulusevski though? Like you could surely play him for a
And
little
I,
bit on the right.
Kulusevski
And he
needs to be
could
playing through the middle. He needs to be like a Papamata Sarr, James Madison backup, not a right. He's not a winger. He's not fast enough to be a winger. He doesn't take a man on. He's creative. He can score. Right. He's got a good like quickness about him, but he is not a winger that's going to put balls across the face of goal or score goals from out wide. If you look at all the goals that Kulusevski scored last season, it was all when he was playing in the middle. They all came from the middle of the pitch.
Let me do the couple of these super chats because a couple of them are actually the one of them is related to what we do. Guys, over 600 people here. We need to get to 400 likes. The like button is underneath the chat. You guys have been moving lately. Well, like Chelsea, like Jackson, like Liverpool in the transfer market. So hit that like button. People like Spurs yesterday. Off Meta Professor, if you had to pick one of Virgil, Salah, Trent on a free for Inter, who would you pick more? Virgil van Dijk, without a shadow of a doubt, my friend.
Really?
Virgil
Wait,
van
wait,
Dijk
wait,
changes team.
really not
wait,
Trent.
wait.
Really?
I was going to say, how old is Virgil van Dijk?
32.
And so you take an older Virgil van Dijk over
Yes.
a Trent who's got about 10 years and in an Inter that have got a good defensive team.
Because we need a center back now. I believe Virgil van Dijk is this guy. Is that guy that win you games by himself as well. Trent
I
can,
think so.
but Salah, we don't play with wingers, so I would take Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk as a center back is, by the way, the difference between Mohamed Salah is declining, and as a forward, you decline faster than a center back. We have seen Thiago Silva, we've seen Sergio Ramos. So Virgil van Dijk at the age of 32, I believe Virgil van Dijk can be top for the next 4 years. That's why I said Liverpool should give him a new contract. As a center back, he relies so much on the positioning and stuff like this.
I'm taking Trent.
Would you not want Trent because of Dumfries? Like I feel like he'd be a much better guy.
Trent is not a wing back.
Fair
Trent
enough.
needs a special place. Trent wouldn't go up and down the line, right? He wouldn't run up and down the line. He's not that guy. As a wing back, you need a quick guy that goes up and down the line.
I personally think it doesn't matter. I
By
think
the way, the
Trent-
super chat asked me, it didn't ask you guys.
well, I'm an Inter fan now, okay? Because my favorite player was my favorite player was Cambiasso and Christian Vieri and Zanetti and all those guys. Okay, no, I would take Trent. The reason why I take Trent is just because I think that what he gives you far outweighs his deficiencies, and sometimes you just need that quality from the right. And so, yeah. But anyways, yeah. Now you can be an Inter fan again.
Devin here is saying, I disagree with Dio. There was a shaky 15 minutes from when Leicester scored and Vardy had his one-on-one. Spurs got control back. It could be any team.
Yep.
And again, I'm not saying it can't be any team. What I'm saying is in that 15 minutes where they capitulated, they looked very disjointed. Is all I'm saying. I'm saying that it was like night and day. Literally, they were dominating so much that I expected them to score like 5 goals. I was like, the goals will come in the second half. Tottenham is going to back this. Like that's the way Tottenham was playing. That's how but then when that goal went in, you looked at the team and you're like, what is going on? There's no determination here. Nobody's winning second balls. Nobody's fighting. Like that's what I'm talking about. So you can disagree. That's your opinion. I know I sat down and I watched the game. And for me, that's a worry because when you play other teams that are better than Leicester, if you capitulate like that, when they score, they will dominate you. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying like if you play a better team and they come back and score 1-1.
Except no
but you can
team
also say another
dominated
day
us
they bagged them
possession-wise
chances.
all last
See,
season.
look,
Not even City or
look, see,
Arsenal dominated us
listen,
possession.
I hear you. What I'm saying is I'm talking about the end result at the end of the day. You can be happy with dominating the game, but you're going home losing. That's what happened to us against Aston Villa. We dominated that game. We outplayed them, but guess who won? Aston Villa won. The bottom line is the 3 points went to Aston Villa. We capitulated, and I seen this. That's why I was like this particular scene that I saw with Leicester. I had seen it with Arsenal. Exactly the same thing. Where one team
Because that's what it
dominated.
can happen to any team.
And I hear you.
Literally what the Super Chat said.
What I'm saying is, everybody knows that in football, you are most vulnerable right after you score a goal, right? Most teams are most vulnerable after a goal is scored. Even the team that scored is most vulnerable because they're still in the hype of we just equalized. They're not really getting themselves together. Everybody knows that. My point is the difference in play was vast. It was ridiculous. Like I was just like, I've seen this before. They're not going to win this game.
Would you say, sorry, Will, would you say, and to Darius' point, I think it's sort of popped in my head. Do you think that Spurs suffer from not having a player who just sort of galvanizes the team and says, right, together? You know, like some of the great teams in the past, like Chelsea had a John Terry, we had a Tony Adams, we had a Sol Campbell, someone who just say, right,
Ledley King, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Well, a leadership role, basically. A leader.
Yeah, but there's no
but
team in the world right now that has a leader like that anymore. That type of leadership is dead for any club.
I don't know. I think Liverpool got that in Van Dijk. I think Diaz sort of does that for Man City.
Thiago Silva kind of did that pass as well, I'd argue, even to an extent.
For Arsenal, Thiago Silva, you said.
Oh yeah, Thiago Silva.
I mean, weirdly enough, for us, I know
what you mean. I understand.
For Arsenal, weirdly enough, it'll be Zinchenko who does that. I know everyone looks at it as being performative, but he's the one who sort of, when the chips are down, he's the one that's trying to do all those stupid huddles. I mean, I think maybe there's an issue there with Tottenham where there isn't someone where when you go under the cosh.
We haven't had that culture in a long time, right? Like we went through a period where we had a decade of Hugo Lloris being our captain, and he's in between the sticks. Like how can he impact players?
And he's an awful captain.
He was not
a good captain.
That's what I'm saying. Like we haven't had that culture.
People.
If you actually listen to the players, like there have been interviews done with Spurs players. According to the players, Son's all up in everybody's business all the time.
Can I ask you the last question on Spurs? What would be considered a failure this season? Seriously,
Finishing any lower than we did last year.
Nothing's a failure for Spurs.
I literally just said what was a failure. I literally defined.
He said that. For us rivals, it's like nothing.
It would be an absolute failure. I personally, so like me, so anything worse than what you finished last year is a failure, right? I personally, anything outside the top four would be a failure for me, personally. That's what I expect.
Do you know what I like? Do you know what I like the best about that Tottenham Leicester game? When Jamie Vardy was being subbed off, and Jamie Vardy did this. I said, this guy is back in the Premiership. This guy is back. This rude Leicester player. The guy was like,
we just need him to do it against Arsenal, bro. That would be funny, man.
Rude let's see him. Let's see. No.
As long as you're doing that, I would literally point to this and be this. And I said, I didn't get relegated last year. That's what I would say.
It can't be 1-0 against Arsenal because we've won the Premiership before. He's saying my team has 1 Premiership, your team has 0. That's what he was telling them.
We don't have 0.
No, you do Premier League.
You have 0 Premier League.
EPL titles.
Yeah, EPL titles is what I'm saying. So he can't do that to Arsenal because we have 3. Or is it, how many do we have here? We have 3 of.
Yeah, but he can still rattle you though. That's the thing.
Who cares about rattling? I'm talking about Jamie Vardy. The things that he does when he's like the arrogant Jamie Vardy. Let's see him do it to Manchester United too. Because
I don't mind Vardy doing it to us, bro.
He's going against you as well. You know you're -1. You're finally +1 this season. You started making noise. You finally won 1 game in your life.
He could do it to Arsenal when they're 5-0 down.
Yeah, no, leave him. I don't mind. Let me come and do it. I just like.
I'm gonna tell you the last thing I'm gonna say about Spurs is my opinion. If Arsenal are that dominant against a team like Leicester, game would have been 3-0. That dominant, 70%, and that many chances, it would have been 3-0.
But that's because
by that time, it would have been 3-0.
Who scores?
Listen, I backed Spurs a lot last season.
Who scores? Who scores? For
Two
Arsenal?
set pieces. Gabriel
Saka.
scores, Saliba scores,
Odegaard.
and Havertz
Yeah,
scores.
but you can't compare.
Okay, we
If
have,
you
okay,
want
those,
to, no,
we
because-
didn't even have
because
set
we can
pieces.
score-
What are
we
you
can
talking
score-
about?
listen,
We never
we
scored
can-
from a set piece.
I'm saying, listen, I'm saying we like if we dominated the way you dominated, right? Which means we're camping in your half. We're camping in Leicester's half. We're
Yeah, but that's
getting
because your
hold on,
manager's
hold
been
on.
given a
We're
lot
getting
more
corner
money
kicks.
than
You guys
Tottenham.
had 10 corner kicks, 9 in the first half. 9 corner kicks, and you didn't convert
More than
any
that,
of them.
but yeah.
Yeah, please
I
go
saw-
check it. Go
9.
check
We
it,
came
yes.
close.
That's
Yeah,
9.
well
I
done.
didn't even count. That's 9.
Well, yeah, man.
Well,
It
what's
was
funny is
Romero,
our
man. Romero
defenders
header.
scored more goals than
What
yours
the
did.
F? That 9 corner kicks?
Now,
Yes.
bring
One
up
half.
now, let's
I'll
go.
tell you what. There was one
Pull up the
corner.
stats, pull up
There,
the
there
stats.
was one corner Spurs had.
Yeah, we had
that
9 in the
I
first
saw.
half.
I saw
Wow.
I saw it on Twitter where
It's actually
Spurs had a
crazy.
corner. They did a short corner, and he somehow ended up back with Vicario. And I was
Yeah.
like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah, I remember
But
that
what I
one.
don't
They played,
understand,
they played the short corner. They played the short corner, and I was expecting, okay, whip the ball in. Everybody's still up here. Like, whip the ball in. You've got the top players, Van de Ven, all these guys are there. Somebody can just, trouble the goalkeeper. Somehow it got back to Vicario.
No, but what I don't understand yet is that I don't.
Yeah, because
get
they played
why-
it back to Son. There was
I
no
don't-
ball into
I
the
don't get why
box.
Tottenham is
They
being
played it back.
compared to Arsenal though. Like, oh, if this was Arsenal, Arsenal are supposed to be like their objective is completely different to Tottenham, and they're at a different stage where Tottenham is. So
It's not.
I don't think the
hold on.
scoreline's 3-0 for
wait,
us.
wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait,
see who scores those goals for us.
Wait,
bro.
Let me just stand real quick.
Not their strikers.
So it's funny.
Wait,
It's
wait,
funny.
wait,
You see,
hold
this
on,
is the
hold on.
thing.
Guy,
When
one
people
Let him
hold on,
land.
Ahmed,
Let him
Ahmed,
land.
land,
Let
Ahmed,
him
land.
land.
Listen,
Finish.
listen. Tottenham are in their second season. They haven't been back to the same extent where Arteta's been backed with Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal are up there with Man City in terms of on the pitch. So it is very common knowledge that they would be winning games like this. So making a comparison with Arsenal, you can make the comparison with Arsenal and City because they're at the same stage in terms of what their objective is. But with Tottenham, they're just trying to get top 4. So clearly, Arsenal have more quality players, and their manager is more. He's been in the Premier League for a lot longer as well. He's got more experience in the Premier League, and he's been here for what? This is his 4th season now. It's only Ange's 2nd
4.5.
season. So it's an unfair comparison, in my opinion.
I
but here's-
I would
sorry,
wait.
sorry.
One second.
Actually, I wanna before Olo come in. Actually, I need to ask Will a question. Who would start, Havertz or Solanke for you? Well,
The donkey.
Solanke.
Solanke. Who would start, Youngman Son or whoever plays on the left for you?
Son.
Who would start,
No,
Pedro
no,
Porro
no,
or Ben White?
I'm
Pedro
starting.
Porro.
Wait, Ahmed. Wait, Ahmed.
Which one?
Romero would get in the midfield. And
Romero in the
defense, right?
midfield.
Romero in the defense, I'm sorry. Romero. Okay, and the left back, Udogi would start or
Yeah.
Zinchenko?
Doggy's better than Zinchenko, yeah.
Potato.
What about the
Needs to be coined,
midfield? Would
doesn't
you get
matter.
Madison? What about Vicario and David Raya?
Vicario's better.
Vicar.
You guys are falling into his trap.
Did you guys see what I did, right? Did you guys see? Ahmed, okay, hold on. Let me explain to the people.
Finish off the
Ahmed
team.
put out,
Finish out the
Ahmed
team.
put out
You have
that
to finish the team.
Right
though.
wing,
I
Bukayo
don't need to.
Saka.
Why?
You do
I don't
need
need to.
to.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Arsenal's whole
Guys,
midfield
I'm
is
gonna
better.
tell you why.
Defense.
I'm gonna tell you.
Rice.
Guys,
Oh,
let
he
me
did the
finish.
spine thing. The spine
I'm
It's a
gonna
mid-
tell you
Declan
why
Rice.
I didn't need to. Hold on. Do you know why I
You
didn't
just
tell
named the
you?
worst positions, by the way. That's what he was doing. He named the worst.
No, he did the spine. He did the whole
Actually,
spine.
that's true.
Did the
That's
whole
why-
spine
that's
for you.
guys, that is actually true. Do you know why I did this? Because Ahmed put out a really big statement. Now, Arsenal, better team than Spurs. And then I just named 5 positions in the thing. And you, Ahmed, not Will. Forget Will. Will is a Spurs fan, right? You can call Will deluded. You can call him he's back in his team, whatever. You, Ahmed, chose 5 Spurs
I didn't
players.
choose 5.
Not Will.
You
I
did.
didn't choose 5. The only defender.
did.
You actually did.
No,
You actually
in that
did.
defense, yeah, in that defense,
You
Gabriel and
actually
Saliba stay. The goalkeeper is you can put Vicario in there, and Son. Clearly, the Arsenal struggle on the left hand side. Solanke over Havertz. The right hand side and the whole midfield is all Arsenal.
So no Madison for you.
Odegaard's better than Madison, in my opinion.
No, on
Madison, Odegaard, and Declan Rice, or you would
The
get
whole
Declan Rice
midfield,
and
yeah, because
Madison.
Tottenham's midfield is not great. I don't rate
So
Tottenham.
you don't think Madison gets in the team at all? You think Declan Rice, Partey, and Odegaard are better?
Yeah, but Madison's a number 10 though. Like, where's he going to play though? Like, where's he going to play? Like, it's between him or Odegaard. Him and Rice is 2 different.
Wait, he doesn't really play as a 10 for Tottenham either. He plays as an
Oh,
8.
Doesn't
He drops
play
deep.
as
gonna
an
say-
eight.
I think this, first of all, the idea of a 10, no one plays 10 anymore. When you think of a 10, I think of Rui Costa.
By the way, even Madison is not a 10, by the way.
Exactly.
And
No,
He's
even
more
now,
than 8.
number of
Dynamic eight.
passes, the way he passes, it's not
Yeah.
a 10.
There is no
It's just a
more.
stubborn.
There's no more tens in football. No manager will put an attacking midfielder up there by himself and say just float and play between the lines by itself. That doesn't happen anymore. So don't even think about that. When it comes down to, I believe Arsenal would have been 3-0 up, right? And I think the reason why Arsenal will be 3-0 up is
Who
because
scores?
I think because it doesn't matter who scores. It's
It
what
does.
matters. No, listen to my point. What matters is not who scores. What matters is how we get to the position to score. And I think Arsenal's patterns of play to get position to scores are better than Tottenham's right now. I think
Okay,
Tottenham.
that's a completely different question. He said
but
that
that's-
if they had the chances Tottenham had,
No.
Right.
I'm disagreeing.
they win 3-0. I'm saying who scores for Arsenal
I
in those
didn't say
chances
that.
that we
I
had.
actually-
Yes,
well,
you
I actually
did.
didn't say that.
You
Yeah.
said
I
if
didn't say
they
that.
dominate the
dominate-
way
No.
Tottenham
If
did,
we-
Dominate the way-
don't
if we
twist
dominate-
my-
listen,
well,
hold on.
don't twist my words.
Mo,
I
let me say
didn't
this.
say that.
Mo, let me say this. Mo,
Hold
let me
on.
say this.
I need to repeat what I said. I said if Arsenal had that dominance over a team like Leicester in the first half, they would have been 3-0 up. Not
Yeah.
chances, because I don't believe you created enough clear-cut chances to actually be 3-0 up.
Mo, let me even say this. Mo, let me say this.
You had
The nine-
opportunities.
the nine corner
There's
kicks.
a
The
difference
nine
between an
corner kicks.
opportunity, which is half a chance.
Yeah, and a lot
Mo,
of
hold on.
chances.
The 9 corner
Lot of
kicks
chances.
the 9 corner kicks Tottenham created. Arsenal created those 9 corner kicks in the first half. We scored 2 of them. There you go.
Wow.
No. What do you mean? Why? Because we score from set pieces. We know how to do
who
it.
had more goals, Romero or any of your defenders
Well,
last
yes,
season?
I don't
Who
care.
had
who
more?
scores it. We're talking
Who
about
had
set
more?
pieces. Yeah, I'm saying you. This is
Who
not,
had more?
Listen. I don't care about the who had more individually. This is
Then
what you
why
do.
would they score more than ours?
Will, I am saying when you had 9 set pieces, 9 corner kicks in the first half, you could not convert any one of them as a team. With all the
Okay.
pressure you put on Leicester, if
Did
Arsenal
you
had the
convert
exact
corner
same
kicks
9,
every single
I
game?
don't care whether it's Zinchenko that kicks it in. I don't care whether it's Vaya that comes and nods it in. The point is, we know how to score set pieces. So those 9 chances that you fluffed, we would have scored them. We would have scored at least 2. That's all I'm saying. So now you don't bring up the stats of Romero versus Saliba 1-on-1. Who scored more? Or Van der Ven versus
Romero
Gabriel, who
versus
scored more?
Gabriel, who scored more?
Nobody cares about
Romero.
that.
The thing is,
your
but
defense
can I?
versus their defense.
Fact is, your team is useless at set pieces. You can't defend them. You can't take them. You don't know how to play them. You play high lines.
How many
Yes, you
goals
played very
did
well.
we
Listen,
concede from a
yes,
set piece
listen. Yes, you
yesterday?
played very well. But at the end of the day, guess what happens to you? This is what happens. Leicester gets 1 chance on goal, scores that 1 chance. You capitulate. You dominate the game for the last 10 minutes and are unable to score. You drop points. You just become
Leicester
frustrated.
had
That's
2
what
corner
you
kicks
got
I just
now.
wanna
yesterday.
add
How
this
many did we
quickly.
concede from?
Yeah.
Go on, Ahmed. Go on,
I
Ahmed.
just want to add quickly, on the set piece argument. Yes, defenders can score set piece, but also your striker can score set piece, your midfielder can score set piece. So it's not necessarily just down to centre backs, to do that sort of, set piece goals. But I think the argument that about Arsenal will score 3. I just think you said the argument about better quality players. Saka probably again more quality than what you have on the right would probably be able to get to buy a goal. So like I just think with your team, I just think what the issue is, you just need to be more clinical. That's what it's going to come down to.
I
You
don't
need to make
necessarily
sure.
even think that it's Bakay's a better quality as far as like finishing is concerned. He's good, but I don't think he's great at it. But what he is really good at is playing that diagonal ball back to the center spot, which is what we lack. Right, the balls that Bukayo Saka puts back into the box or across the face of goal for players like Trossard or Kai Havertz to finish are very good. That's where they get better quality chances, is because without looking, without thinking, without taking 35 seconds to make up his mind, Bukayo Saka plays balls across the box that put Arsenal in position to score goals. We don't have that on the right. We don't.
But also, I'll say this also to this
Which
point,
means,
which I think.
we'll probably
Wait,
score more than.
wait. To this point as well, though, it's another thing is this: it's off the ball runs, right? And this is something that is always very underrated about what Arsenal and Arteta does. A lot of the off the ball runs when it comes to Ben White and Saka and the way they move in unison, those sort of patterns of play is what gets Arsenal into positions where we can score. And again, that's what Spurs lack right now. I think everything is in front of the defense, right? Where Arsenal is all about moving players around to get to a position where actually Saka gets free to shoot, or you get Ben White just overlapping and cutting the ball across. I know Tottenham do cut the ball across, but I think the reason why I say Arsenal score more goals is because the way we play football right now, the way we move the ball around, is in a way that is to get freedom for people to get space to score. And I think Spurs don't do that right now. So that's where if Arsenal were dominating that much of the ball, would have definitely created better quality chances and likely would have buried those chances.
I
in the back of
agree.
the net.
I 100% agree. And if you can't see that, I know, bro. Arsenal create chances. Arsenal had a problem maybe converting the chances last season, even though
Yes.
they scored a lot of goals.
No, but it wasn't even converting.
Arsenal
It
would have
was the
created way
numbers.
more
Hold on,
clear-cut
hold on. We went
chances.
through this on this show several times. The amount of
Okay.
chances that they created in the first 20 weeks of the season was like mid-table.
Okay, but they changed that. We're talking about Arsenal today. We're not talking
The
about
whole
Arsenal
season.
last
We're talking about
season.
the whole season here. Why
No,
do you?
no,
Why
no,
do
the whole
you like
season well.
you
Why
like
are
to see
bringing
when
that
you take the
lie,
first
that
90
first
Yes.
games,
Because you're
like
making it
first 90
Yes,
sound like
games,
bro,
that
come
wasn't
on.
something that they
We're
struggled
talking
with.
about- we're
Even
talking
in the
about op-
second half of the
listen.
season, they didn't create more chances, enough chances. They weren't
We
like they
scored
created
90.
the
We
most
scored,
chances
listen,
in the
we
league.
scored 90 plus goals, right? City scored 95. We scored 91. 4 goals less than City, right? So,
Yeah,
so,
and
so
10 of
extra-
those were penalties, my guy.
Listen, 10 of what was penalties, 20 of them were set pieces, 14 was contributed by the defenders. So what are we talking about here? You want to
That's
go
the
down all the
point there,
stats?
Dyer.
I can start breaking down all the
That's
stats
my
for you.
point.
So
Set
the
pieces
point-
aren't chances
Listen,
created, bro.
the point is Arsenal scores from different ways. We have it in our arsenal to pull out arrows in different ways and score in different ways. You guys don't have that. So when we create chances like that against the Leicester, because we can score in multiple ways, we most likely will score a goal. That's all I'm saying. For you to sit here and disingenuously look at that and say it's not possible, who scores for them when we can score in different ways? It doesn't have to be open play goal only. It doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
open play only. It
Without
doesn't have
your
to be
set piece
penalty.
goals
It
last
doesn't have to
season,
be
you
set
don't
pieces.
finish in the
It,
top
does,
4.
it doesn't matter. The fact that
It
we
does
train for
matter.
it is part
Why
of the
does-
game, though. We
Yeah.
trained for set pieces. We're good at it, and now you say
Right. What I'm
without
saying,
it,
you're missing the
without
point.
it.
Look,
What,
I'm
listen,
not
let me
saying
ask you
it
a
doesn't
question.
count.
Let me ask you a
Hold on.
question. Without it,
Stop talking for
it's
5
no,
minutes.
hold on.
Listen
No, no,
to
let
me.
me
Let
finish.
me
Let me
rebuttal you.
finish.
Let me rebuttal you.
Well,
Let
well,
me finish.
let Dayo
Let me
land and
finish.
then you can respond. Let him
If I
finish.
let
When
him
a
land, it's
team-
going to
when-
take 35
listen,
minutes.
You can, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're going to listen to it for 35 minutes because you want to be fraudulent. When a team goes out there and trains for something, we train for penalties, you train for set pieces, you train for corners, you train for every single thing. You come into a game and the game is tight and you can only use what you're really, really good at, or you find an opportunity to use one of those things to score. Well, if you didn't have that, that would not work. What are you talking about here? It's not my fault that Tottenham is crap at playing set pieces or defending it. It's not my fault that your goalkeeper cannot play out with his
Why are we
from
acting
the
like
back.
Tottenham played
Like, what are
rubbish
you talking?
and lost?
What are we
Wait,
talking
Wait,
about?
Ahmad,
here?
Ahmad, wait.
Right.
Let him land. I want Will to respond.
Go on,
Please.
go on, go on, go on.
Go, Will.
I think it's
Go on,
landed
go on,
now.
go on,
Focus.
go
Is it
on.
my turn?
Go
Is that a
on.
landing?
It's landed.
Yeah,
It's
it's
landed.
landed. It's
My
landed.
point,
Go on.
my point was not
it's
that your
refueling.
goals. Okay, my point was not that your goals don't count. They obviously count, right? What I'm saying is I'm talking about the amount of chances that are created from open play. Arsenal was not anywhere near the top of the league in creating chances from open play. So it's not like your positions or your passages of play created so many chances that you defeated your opponents that way. It's not what happened. You were super clinical in the second half of the season from set pieces. It saved you guys in a lot of games. That's great. Good. You guys are good at scoring from set pieces in the second half of last season. Congratulations. You also gotten almost the most penalties of any team in the league. I think you and Liverpool were like, what, 1 apart from each other or something like that? Great. You converted those. Good job.
So, go on,
Yeah,
sorry.
it is true.
No, but I'll
Hold
say,
on.
Who got
sorry.
this
Yeah,
This
wait,
notion
wait,
of
wait,
penalty,
wait.
by the way, to get a penalty, you'll have to create a chance for a player being
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, even a
Not
even
necessarily.
Is
The
it?
penalties
It is
can
not a
happen
foul
from
on the
all
halfway
kinds of
line.
reasons. They don't have
No,
to
but-
come off.
Unless you're saying that
Yes.
Arsenal are favored by the referees. That's different.
No, but also, I
Yeah.
mean, you have to be. Okay, so wait, to get a penalty, you have to be in the penalty
well, they
box,
were.
right? So you have
Yes,
to be
you can be in the penalty box for multiple reasons. You can be a set
Right.
piece. It could be somebody
Right.
get pushed down. It could be
Exactly,
somebody
but-
diving. It could be all kinds of reasons why you get a penalty.
But the point I'm still making is that you have to be in an attacking position to get
Exactly,
penalty.
yes.
It doesn't happen in the center
Right.
center. It happens in the
Okay.
box, right? And you can look at a lot of I mean, I don't have the stats, but I'm pretty sure Arsenal will be 1 or 2 or 3 in most touches in opposition box because we play in that way, right? Also, when it comes to corner kicks as well, the reason why you get corner kicks is because you're attacking and the ball goes out because the player puts the ball out, so you get a corner kick. And when you say if you take out the corner kicks and you take out penalties, it's basically like saying,
But you just
Take
mocked
off-
us for
take-
getting 9 corners in the first
wait,
half.
it's like saying I didn't mock you. First of all, I didn't mock you. I just said that it was weird seeing some of the ways you play the corner kicks, right? But if by you saying take away corners or take away penalties, it's a bit like saying take away all right-footed goals. You know, we can do whatever we want.
No,
to
I
say.
didn't say take them away. We're talking about creating chances. The amount of chances that Arsenal created from open passages of play was mid to mid-high table at best last season.
Will,
That's
you're
just
the
a
one.
fact.
Will,
I
you're
don't
the
make
one
up the
talking about that.
numbers.
That's not what we said. What we said
It
again.
is what you said.
No,
You
we were talking about, no.
created
We were
these
talking.
chances.
Listen, no. We were talking about Leicester against. We said if Arsenal had the chances that you
Dio,
had against.
quickly.
Hold on, let me finish, please. Let me finish. That you had against Leicester, we would have converted at least 3 goals. It would have been 3-0. You said who would score it? We mentioned players. You said, oh, open play goals. And I said, no, you had 9 corners. If you gave Arsenal 9 corners, the 9 corners that you were given, that you guys earned, that you worked hard to get into their box, that they defended, if you give Arsenal those 9 corners, are you saying we don't score from those set pieces, even though we're good at scoring our set pieces? That's my question.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
no,
we're
I-
talking about here.
so
We're not
I
just
I'd
actually,
have to run the
I wanna
numbers to see
sidestep
the
it.
odds of you doing that, but it
Not
wouldn't
just-
necessarily
not
be
just
that. How
open
many
play
corners
goals.
did you guys
So,
average per game?
I would
last
like
season?
to just slightly sidestep this question because I feel like this is slightly irrelevant because what I want to get back to your point, yeah, in regards to that they created mid to mid high, what's it called, yeah, chance creation. But the thing that yes, that might be true, but the thing that they had that you did not have in that game was they were able to still put the ball into the back of the net with the chances that they were creating. So at the end of the day, what does it come back to? You not having enough quality to be clinical enough to put the ball into the back of the net.
And also quality of chances as well, right?
Exactly.
So a big chance
Exactly.
doesn't necessarily always represent what was the quality of the chance. And I think
Yeah.
Arsenal, like I said, patterns of play, I think Arsenal put the players in positions where the chances are of a higher probability to score than what Spurs do right now. So that's the difference. That's
Well,
why
that's common sense though. Like,
No,
that's,
because,
I
no,
don't
but,
know.
no, because the thing is, like a lot of the chances that
Arsenal are a better team than Tottenham. I don't get the point of the sport.
No. But I think the argument that I think Will was making is that
are we
they're
gonna go
creating.
through this again?
No. I think the argument Will was making is that yes,
Is that minute 40 of the show again? Did we go back in
Yeah.
time?
no, Ahmed. The argument that's being made here is that Will was saying they created mid to mid high chances, Arsenal, right? And Tottenham is creating similar. So like I just think for me personally, it's just being able to put the ball in the back of the net. That's all it comes down to, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Does that.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But listen, I think Tottenham, man, honestly, we'll see what happens, man. I have mixed feelings on what they're going to do this season, but I need to see.
They're a well coached
But
side.
at the end,
No.
Arsenal scored 91 goals last
Exactly.
season. Spurs scored 74.
That's what I was saying, bro.
Spurs
Quality of shoot, put the ball in the back of the net.
Bro, forget the goal scores. Spurs conceded 61 goals. Arsenal conceded 29.
It's unsustainable. That's the
That
thing.
by itself is
It's unsustainable. And the
And
thing
I'm
is, we
telling you
know.
what, and I
Everyone's
rate
saying-
the 2 defenders at Spurs really high. Really, really high. You don't know how much I like Van de Ven. I think he's a brilliant defender, right?
Just say
I
with
think
me.
he's used wrong.
Hey,
think-
man,
I think they are
I'm worried
used
for his
wrong,
hamstrings
bro.
again. I'll be honest. I'm worried for that guy's hamstrings again, bro. Because hey, if
He is asking him to cover 50 yards in every time the
That's what I'm saying,
opposition
bro.
has the ball,
He's
bro.
running back and forth non-stop with a hamstring that he just injured almost 1 year ago to this day, roughly. Like I think it's like 2 months before he played Chelsea. So listen, I'll be real, man. Van de Ven, he's in trouble. We know Romero gets injured every now and then. I don't know if he got injured that much last season, if I'm not mistaken. But hey, man,
Just
I don't
say
know.
with me. Just say with me together, everyone in class. It's the
it's the
history of
history
the
of the Tottenham.
Let me do this
Hey.
before we go to Man United window being 10 out of 10 and how good they are. Since Gabriel has joined Arsenal, no defender has scored more than him. That's just a fact, by the way. I
It's not a
haven't
fact.
fact-checked it.
Congratulations,
I haven't.
Gabriel.
Hold on.
Romero scored more
That's what I
goals
was
than
gonna say.
Gabriel last year.
No,
That's
since
why I have
since
said-
Since he's
Gabriel
joined.
joined.
That's why I'm saying.
So you're
I have
adding them
seen
all
and
up?
joined.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I respond? I have not fact checked this. If someone can fact check it, let us know. Please.
I believe he has actually got the most he's scored.
Just because the
Since he joined,
credibility of myself and everyone here
What
on
a
the
trophy
panel,
for Gabriel.
Wait,
we
Mo,
have
Mo,
not.
Mo, what credibility?
Are we counting?
What can I just say, man? What a trophy for
fullbacks
Gabriel, by
in
the way.
that as well?
What a trophy for Gabriel. All those goals scored for 0 trophies. Hold that.
Ahmed.
MCC Soul is asking me, does Gundo coming back change your predictions, Mo? Nah. I won't.
Wow. Interesting.
I still think
So
Arsenal will
just
win.
just for the math people out there, Arsenal averaged 7 corners per game last season. Out of 38 games, that's 266 corners total divided by 22 goals scored. That means you're only scoring one goal every 12 games. So your odds of actually scoring 2 in
That's
that
a bit like
one
a kanji,
is
you know?
very low.
So
Onto scoring two is low, but we will. What I said, we will score.
Yeah, we're definitely scoring two.
And Saka will score.
two.
And I said Havertz to score. You asked for names. I said
From set piece.
I said we'll score from. I said we'll score from the videos. I said we'll score from a set piece. I said Havertz will score, and I said Saka.
We're moving on.
So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, move on, bro.
Means your math ain't
We are
math.
moving on.
Do your
Math ain't
mathematics.
math.
Let's move
Do
on.
your math. Do your mathematics.
Let's
You
talk
guys
about
are-
United,
you guys
man. Let's
are
talk
crap.
about another trash team.
We
anyway. Let's
are
talk about United.
moving on. Will and Dio.
Can I ask a
And
question?
at 55 minutes.
Can I ask a question?
One goal
By
every
the
12
way,
corners.
There is
Wait, no,
38 game weeks coming up. We have about
sorry.
37,
37, bro,
we'll have
37.
over 100 episodes this season.
I need to ask Ahmed a question after he threw an unnecessary shot at Gabriel. Who do you think is going to score more this season, Felix or Gabriel?
Who, me?
No,
Wait,
other
wait.
Ahmed. Who do you think is going to score more, Felix or Gabriel?
I'm pretty sure Felix will score more. Guaranteed. Felix will score more, guaranteed.
Well, hey, in
Come on, Ahmed, firm now, bro.
in
Firm it.
37
You know, but I
37
thought
weeks.
that's an unnecessary question. It's like, of course he's gonna score more,
It's
bro. Like,
37
listen,
Come
it's
on.
guaranteed, man. That's guaranteed.
In
Still.
37 weeks, we're gonna check up. We're gonna check this.
No,
okay?
listen, you know what? We'll check up after 10 weeks. We'll give a 10-week check up.
I didn't even say
Bro.
striker. I said a defender. So in 37 weeks, we're gonna check if you can score more than if.
Don't
Felix
worry,
can
bro.
score more.
Listen.
Let's-
Don't worry, man. Gabriel will score more.
Let's move on
Gabriel
to-
won't score more.
Actually,
Moving on.
forget. Before we go on to United, okay? Since the super chat came up, right? Why should I change the predictions? I want everyone in the chat, and I want a yes or no question. I predicted Arsenal to win the league before the Gundogan news. Should I change the predictions? Logically speaking,
Yeah, I would
I mean,
actually
it's-
argue yes, because he improved the team. Would he not argue? Would we not argue? Gundogan coming back into this team improves that team. Like
He's also a match winner as well.
I would argue Alvarez doing a lot of what Gundogan was doing previously. You switch Gundogan back in. He can do that job even better than what Alvarez was doing, in my personal opinion. And I think for me, he's a guy that already knows the system. He's played in that system consistently. So this is not even like me saying it's a new cog we're adding here. This is a known cog that a manager can just go bang, fits easily. And
Yes, but listen, the one thing we just always remember is Father Time is undefeated, and he's what 33 now, right? I think he's turning 33. He's turned 33.
he's
So,
33. He is
Yeah, but he don't really
33.
rely on pace like that. It's all about movement.
Of
And
course,
as
of
well,
course.
He's got abundance in that.
of
Yeah,
course,
even
but
like-
what I'm saying is this: there's no automatic sort of idea that you just take a player, plug him back in, and all of a sudden it's 100% they're going to be the same player they were before, right? He's had a year away. Wait,
he's only been 1 year. It's only been 1
It doesn't
year.
matter. He's had a year away from the system. The game is also in the Premier League has moved, and also he's getting older. I'm not saying that you should say
Yeah.
that Man City wouldn't be favorites. I'm just saying this sort of idea where if you think that he's going to be the exact same player that he was 2 years ago, players fall off a cliff. And I'm not saying he's going to fall off a cliff.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, maybe this is my copium working here more than anything else. But I don't necessarily think that he's that much of a game changer now, as he's getting older. Now, if they can, again, also remember they've also got another midfielder who's 33 or 34 in KDB. They are aging, and I think it's also showing in the fact that other teams are getting closer to them. So again, maybe it's my copium, and I can admit that.
Let's see, like I said earlier, I said Gundogan coming back to Man City makes a big difference for me. It does. But the one thing that I will also say is that means they strengthen in midfield, and we strengthened where we were strong as well. We're probably the only people close enough to from last season. We strengthened where we're strongest. We were strongest in our defense last season, and we strengthened in our defense. We have Timber and Calafuri coming in to cover the positions that were probably our weakest side, the left side. So yes, we did actually strengthen where we're strongest because we had the best defense last season. So yeah, that answers that question. And if we bring in Merino,
best defense last season. Yeah.
yes, we did actually. You can go look at the stats as well. We considered 29 goals. You considered 60. So let's not even start this. We're not going to do that.
Hey, conceding goals has nothing to do with having the best defense.
It had everything to do with best defense. Let's carry on. Having said that, if we solidify the midfield as well, if we bring in Merino, who actually, according to the stats that he has, basically they said I don't care about it, but him winning the highest duels in Europe, that's great. I understand that. That's a good thing to have when you're going to go up against a team like Man City. who are a very tough team that can literally try to break you down. Even though we didn't have all these other bits and pieces, all these profiles last season, we were able to hold them to a draw at the Etihad. I expect that we should be able to do better this season and do one over them. And yeah, I think that we need a striker definitely in front. That's something that we definitely do need to see. The window is not closed, but as it is, Gundogan coming back changes a lot of things, and I totally agree to that. He strengthens the Man City team, enormously, but he's coming to face a different Arsenal team. He's not facing Rob Holding this time around, or the usual suspects that we had in the back. He's facing a different defense. They're facing a different Arsenal. So let's see what the season holds. Basically, yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to the ADL, man. You know what I mean? Arsenal Defense League, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's very strong here, man. I can't lie to you, man.
Yeah.
Fight the
Just
fight
to
the
let you know
power.
that Arsenal factually and statistically were the strongest defense in the league last season.
Oh yeah, we know. No. I know. I'm just
And you can just say that it is, huh?
Define defense.
Oh my
Chances
dude.
conceded.
Nah, well, you gotta let
goals
it go, man. Let it
conceded.
go. Even I'm saying
No
this. Let it go,
chances.
man.
I'm pretty sure chances conceded we were the least as well. Again,
By
I'm
the
not-
way, well, it can be coming from the fact that they don't concede chances because they're midfield. By the way, the midfield is part of your defense.
The front line is part of your defense too. Right? Defending is anything when you're not having the ball.
This team conceded the least chances last season, right, per game. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they conceded the least goals. So that's factually speaking. And they had, by the way, also they had the least goal scoring action against them per game last season. That's not only XG. And they had the least XG against them. And they had the least big chances created against them in the season. In every metric, they were the best defense in the league last season.
Yeah,
In every metric.
Yeah,
It was
they were,
the
hard to
Bermuda-
break, they were hard to break down, and defensively they were sound as well.
Like,
So.
and they were amazing, to be honest.
It was the Bermuda triangle of Rice, Gabriel, and Saliba. Your attacker goes in there.
I mean, outside the system changes, he's become a bit more like what's the word? He's become a bit more pragmatic, because you reckon he's become more pragmatic.
Arsenal are a very pragmatic team.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably the reason as well. Why their defense
100%.
is so good as well, because they're more pragmatic as well. So defensively, they're hard to break down, and they've got.
They get in shape so quickly, very quickly. By the way, when they lose the ball, everybody behind the ball, they press in moments. They aren't like a Man City. People think Arsenal are just Man City. They press. Arsenal don't press as much as Manchester City. They literally just take pick moments.
I've got my Arsenal back. The George Graham days are back.
Let's see the trophy to see it, man. You know what I mean?
Ahmed, do you want
It's
to
coming.
really do this today?
I'm just asking. Listen, I'm
The
just
trophies,
just,
the trophies are coming. They're
I
coming,
just
don't
want to give the Arsenal fans, a little cheeky reminder, and a little cheeky.
Okay, let
reminder.
me ask you a question.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question. Have you
No,
built enough change? Have you built enough changing rooms in your training ground? Or do you
Currently,
still-
we only have
or do
28
you-
players in my
or do you
squad.
still have to
Have
have
shame.
people change
We have
in the
28
car
players
park?
in my squad. Have shame. You have 28
So
players in my squad. Have shame.
you have 49 players and 20 changing rooms. Is it 2 per room?
Currently, there's
49 players.
that-
You guys
that is
see the
just-
stat. They have
Yeah,
the contract
yeah,
191 years. The next team is 90 years. They have more than double the next team in the length of contracts, bro. They literally gave Joao Felix 6
It's
years
6
and an
years.
extra year, bro.
6-year
Bro, and it's
contract.
great. Joao Felix, the guy
What's his name?
that
I think Kopama is signed to them for like another 13 years now. What's the total? Only God knows. Because I know he was
I
only
think
on
it's
like 9
20,
years.
Paul
and it-
Palmer joined them at the age of 21. By the end of his contract, he's 30. 30.
Hey,
bro.
listen, man. Listen, man.
30 years
Listen,
old, bro.
the streets will be talking about us here with glory.
It's a
soon,
jail
so.
sentence,
Bro,
bro.
bro, the reason the streets are talking about you is because your players are in the streets changing. That's the only reason they're talking.
Oh, clap back.
Listen, the players are not
There's
even in the
no
streets
space in the
training because
locker room.
half the guys who keep explaining, my brother Olu, are not even here. Some of them are at Ipswich, some of them are at some random English clubs.
No, but
They're not here.
Ahmed,
There's
if
not
you
here.
go, Ahmed, if you go to your official website, though, you
You
guys
do
have-
realize, guys, I want to give you a nice little stat here. I'll give you a nice little stat. Did you know we had 42 players at one point in time under Roman Abramovich? Yeah, so this is very normal for Chelsea. We've been doing this for quite a long time. This is people acting like this is like something new. It's
no.
only because you know what I mean. We've had 42 players at one point in time, 30 players in the start 11, post transfer window. This is not nothing new, bro. That's what I'm gonna say.
But my thing is though,
I
like,
want to ask Dayo, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like it's
I
on
was
your
gonna
official
ask that
it's on your official website, Duhamid. Like that's the part that kills me. So like for me,
It wasn't no official website back then
Come on,
too.
no,
It's just
listen,
that people didn't
just
decide to look
hold-
at it.
hold-
Like,
look,
you know what I mean?
Ahmed,
If people had decided
wait,
to actually look at the
Ahmed,
website
wait now,
back
Ahmed,
then,
wait now,
they would have
Ahmed.
seen it there too.
Ahmed, you have 5 goalkeepers on your official website. 5.
We also had
And you have
that
2
in a previous point in time.
Kepa is still on your books. You have who else is still on? You have
Brother,
a
Kepa is not
Kepa
going to
go
be
on
in.
loan.
you have a
Kepa,
goalkeeper called Beach
Kepa not
as
go on
well.
loan.
no,
on
Kepa's
loan.
about. No, Kepa's about to be sold. What are you talking about?
I know, but he's still on your books. He's about
No,
to
because
be,
like
he's not
this,
been sold.
the reason
As-
why Kepa
crazy.
is on my books for the last 12 days of transfer window is because we're trying to agree a fee. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah,
This
that's what
guy's
I'm
gonna
saying
be
now,
gone.
until- listen,
But
until-
for me,
Ahmed,
but
until-
for me, Dio, you just in my personal opinion, it's been slightly disingenuous. You know what I mean?
How?
If you're gonna
How?
come speak to that's a
Big
you
word,
know what I mean?
big
How?
word.
Very
I went-
disingenuous.
listen,
Another fact, and you know, the other guy he's speaking about, the other guy he's speaking
I
about.
want to switch
Okay.
this conversation from
Why
the
did you put it on your
banter. I wanna
website?
ask-
I'm not. That's it. I didn't make it shit up.
All right, man.
Guys,
Very
City
I
allowed
wanna-
the least amount of shots last season, by the way.
He spent all that time looking for it.
I had to fact check Mo. He's like throwing all these stats. Chances
No, I am
against
literally looking at it. Goals.
Manchester City allowed 291 shots. Arsenal allowed 320. Goals, yes. Goals
Goal
allowed.
creating action against them. Arsenal 44 in the whole league. Manchester City 56. Okay,
But also,
that's number
also,
one. Right?
The
wait,
goal creating action is a secondary pass that leads to an
hold
assist.
on. Shot creating action as well. Shot creating action. Manchester City, yes, they're less than Arsenal, but that's shot creating action. That's not the shot that happened. It's a shot creating action. But anyway, I want to move on
That's
from
what
this.
a
I want to
goal-creating
ask a
action is.
question here. I want to ask a question for real. Who's in the top 4 race? Can someone name the names? And people in the chat, can you name me the teams that you guys think are in the top 4 race? Like seriously, who do you think? I'm gonna ask before I ask Will, Ahmed, and ask Olu and Dayo. Guys, start with Olu. Who are the teams in the top 4 race?
in your
your
top
opinion.
4 race. Wait,
Yes.
sorry. Let me just define. Is it top 4 race or is it who going to finish in the top 4?
It's top 4 race. Like
Just
who
the
do you
race to
think
get to
can
4.
make top 4?
All right.
Who's
So who can
like
make?
if I tell you Crystal Palace,
Okay. I just want to
West
clarify.
Ham.
I just want to clarify. Okay, so top 4 race, I would say, in levels of probability as well. I'll put on probability. I would say highest probability will probably be obviously Arsenal, Man City.
No.
Liverpool
Forget
are given.
Arsenal and City.
They're given. They're given. That's why I think those 3 are given. I would say then in terms of probability, I would say it would be Man U. Then I would say it would be Man U. Then Spurs, Chelsea, right next to them, Villa, because I think they'll drop off, and Newcastle, and
So you
a
basically
cheeky,
think
cheeky little mention for Brighton, but I don't think they will last the.
so.
No,
You,
them midfielders
basically,
still wide open.
what you think is Chelsea, Man United, Spurs, and Newcastle are in the top 4 race. That's what you think.
That's it. But I give you the probability if I rank them.
No, forget the probability. I don't want. I want to ask Will a question first before I go to Ahmed of Man United. Does Joao Felix make Chelsea favorites for top 4? Does he change your prediction?
No.
Do you think Chelsea are going to make top 4?
I think Joao Felix is an average player. Like
Oh
what?
my days.
He's no better than any other players that play with 4 of them now.
Oh,
And
this is-
Cuckoo, Joao Felix. What's the difference?
Depth.
I agree. No, you can't say depth. That's not.
It
What's the
doesn't
difference?
improve you, right?
No.
Depth doesn't take you up a level. It just gives you
But
more.
the other argument I will give
But
you.
Will, that's harsh. Will, that's harsh. That's harsh, man.
The other argument I would give you is then
I'm going to have to say,
Like-
I'm going to actually have to agree with. Actually, Joao
Listen.
Felix is
Oh,
less
Cuckoo, Joao Felix.
effective
Yeah.
than Nkunku.
100%.
Are you guys kidding me?
Yes, but that's why he's a depth option for me. If I lose in Cuckoo, I can still have some level of.
Yeah, but
production.
doesn't improve your starting 11, does
Doesn't
it?
improve it.
But I don't want him to improve my start 11. I don't think he's going to improve my start 11. I already agree
Yeah,
with
but
you.
that
you-
doesn't take you
hold
up a
on.
level.
Hold on, guys.
Oh.
Do not think that you need to improve your starting 11?
No. We already got. I think for me, we got
I just
Pedro
want to get that
already.
straight down first. I
No,
just
no,
want to
no.
get that
No,
straight.
I was making the point that Felix does not improve my style. But I agree with you on that. He's there for me though as a depth option. That's the whole point of Felix, in my personal opinion.
Bro,
Right. So for me, if you're going to improve my actual start 11, it has to be a striker, and possibly, obviously, hopefully remove 2 centre backs and bring in another centre back in to help to maintain that back line. But I think other than that,
Osimhen group takes you guys up a level. It takes you up spots on the table. Joao Felix doesn't move you up spots on the table.
no, I agree with you, bro. I just think for me, he's
We agreed then.
Nah,
Yeah,
I disagree, man. I
I
disagree.
just gotta say though, I don't know. I can't remember if you were here on the weekend show on Saturday, but Chase was all saying that like you guys were gonna slap Man City. What happened with that?
I didn't say that. I was saying 2-2. I actually thought it was going to be a draw personally for me.
I actually
but,
said 2-1 Chelsea. If they didn't have a bozo up top, it's up.
the thing is, bro, we could have easily drawn that game if we were more clinical. But obviously, we don't have the clinical striker right now.
All I'm
But
saying is that this deal is stinky, bro.
Bro, let me say
So,
something.
You literally had to buy someone for them to take Conor Gallagher off your hands.
Wait,
I'll go-
I
I
don't think
think,
you were chasing Joao Felix at all.
Do you know why?
And
I
it
think we
was
got Joao Felix, Mo?
stinky deal, bro.
The reason why we got Joao Felix is probably because we were doing a favor for Mendes because of the fact of Pedro Neto. That's probably what I feel like it was for me.
Bro, Chelsea are
Absolutely.
doing deals of 60 million euros.
Look, he's not a
Or,
bad player to have. I guess you
Exactly,
would say,
again,
but
he's not a bad
he's
player to
person
have.
that brings you up
Yeah.
levels.
Yeah. Again, he doesn't. Listen, again, he's obviously a floor raiser, but not a ceiling raiser. That's the way I would put it. in my
Say he
personal-
hasn't lived up to the hype
Yes.
that he got when he was a kid. Let's put it
Exactly.
that
I
way.
hear you.
Yeah, but
Let
that's
Ahmed go. I'll go after Ahmed.
let Ahmed go. Go ahead, Ahmed.
bro, I think Joao Felix is a quality player. I think he's quality. I'm not just saying this. I think
Quality
he's
of
really-
what?
No, I'll tell you what he's quality at, because the thing is, the problem with Joao Felix here is that because he doesn't put insane numbers, he doesn't put insane numbers. People think, oh, he's not effective. That debut he had for Chelsea, forget about the red card. If he puts on that type of performance for Chelsea in that debut, not only is he going to help the team score goals, but he'll also create for his team as well. He's
The
quality on the
debut,
ball.
the debut where he got a red card.
Yeah, bro,
Forget no.
No,
He said forget a red
listen,
card.
hold on.
Okay,
Felix,
forget the red card
about
then.
the red card. I said forget about the red card. He definitely improves that attack. He's got everything fundamentally in his locker to do really well, especially playing in a Maresca system where it's possession based. Felix fits that to a T. Now he might not be this Salah output machine, but then again, it's all about the team and how they perform as a team overall. If the goals are spread out and Felix can chip in every now and then that's a plus for Chelsea. He's better than Nicholas Jackson. He is. He's better than Nicholas Jackson. Jackson's not even a good finisher, and he got 14.
Not in the striker position.
He's not a striker, though.
No. But
Not in
I'm
the
saying,
position, yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is that he can play up front. He can play in the false line. He can play in the 10. He can play up front.
Yeah, but
He can
I would
play
argue,
right
Ahmed, in the
He can
false
rotate.
nine, whatever position, I still think Jackson would be better
Yeah,
than him
but-
in that
So-
false nine position. But
So-
but-
Come on,
I don't know
you're
if
telling me-
Jackson's gonna be better, but
You're telling me that Kai Havertz, who didn't do well at Chelsea,
because the point I'm trying to make but the
He's
point I'm
way
trying to make,
better than
Ahmed, I think for me he improves us on the left wing and in the central
No, but if
area.
you play him
because-
through the
Alright.
middle, you get the most out of him.
All
If
right.
you play him through the middle, he will perform really well.
Who will you?
Ahmed,
Ahmed, who will you start? Sorry, Ahmed, who would you start? Would you start Palmer, Neto, and Kunku, right? Or would you start Palmer, Neto?
You already said my son, no, but we already
That's
said it.
what
No,
Palmer,
that's
Neto,
it.
Felix. No, I said Palmer, Neto, Felix. Which one would you start?
I would
Palmer and
personally-
Cuckoo, Palmer and Cuckoo it's gonna be Palmer and Cuckoo, and what's it
And
called?
Neto.
People saying, what's he good at,
So-
bro? Like,
So
Yeah,
let me-
what's he good at?
and again, for me, he's the guy that's gonna come off the bench, after 60, 70 minutes, and he's gonna be there to at least give Galak and Cuckoo, who's quite injury prone, what's it called? There's some level to actually rest as a
Right.
player.
Right, can I say something first of all, right? And it's something that again us as football fans sometimes just don't ever think about. So the first thing first, when it comes to a great debut, I mean, we saw Mudryk have a great debut, and he's been absolutely trashed since then, right? So we can't just go off a debut in terms of saying if a player plays a certain way. If Mudryk plays the way he played in his debut against Liverpool, he'll be a quality player. If Shamak played in the same way he played in his debut for Arsenal,
he only had 10 starts at Chelsea and scored
the point-
5
no,
goals.
It doesn't matter. The point they're making is that he never lived up to the billing of his debut. Now, the thing I was going to say, which is very important, is this, right? The other thing that we're also dealing with is with human beings. So it's not just like FIFA where you could just get players and you could just say, have them on the bench and they're happy to sit on the bench. These guys want to play. Maresca's biggest job is to control those egos in the dressing room. And you're already seeing an issue already with someone like a Sterling who gets dropped in his
But
first
Sterling
game.
will the bounce,
But no,
though.
listen to my point. Yes, but that's the point I'm trying to make. He got dropped in the first game, and he's putting out statements. Now he has to deal with then having so many players in the same position who all have egos, who all believe they want to start. And yes, sometimes they might push each other, but also as well, does he have the ability to control those? One thing Pep was very good at is having quality players and being able to control an ego. And when he had a player who can control like an Ibrahimovic, he had the power to get rid of him when it was a Barcelona. But
He has the power to get rid of him now, though, Oludo. Sterling's probably is getting pushed out of the club right now. They're literally
You know, Felix is the problem, right? You seen what he did on Atletico. He's a problem, man. That kid has an ego. Like, no, the way he's always behaved. You know how many times Atletico tried to get rid of him and he would stand his ground.
That's Madrid doesn't suit Felix.
I don't know what I'm saying.
But I just listen. I feel like Atletico Madrid, the way we talk about him, at least at Atletico, is a bit more complicated than what it seems. I would actually argue, because it's not just him. There's him and Simeone that had some sort of issue, and then there was like a lot of continuous infighting between him in even that actual, was it called?
But why though? Why? There's a reason why that happened, and it doesn't happen in a vacuum, right?
Yeah,
there's
that never happened to him at Benfica, I would argue. So.
Bro, I'm telling you, once Felix,
he has never replicated his Benfica performance when he was 18.
And he was 18. He was 18.
Sorry, he can still easily do that in the right team.
But also he was 18 when he left Benfica, so he had no right to have an ego when he was at Benfica, right? He just come in, he just broke. I'm saying, Ahmed, I'm just saying to you, right? Listen, you support Man United. You're seeing the turmoil that happens when players have massive egos in the dressing room and what that does. You guys always talk about player power and how that's destroyed Man United, right? I'm saying Chelsea getting all these players, especially players who played in the same position, who some would do the same thing, is more of a problem, because in the sense that you're not talking about having like, guys who are 16, 17, even though yes, there are some guys like Piers and Willian who are going to be 16, 17. But if you're buying players who are all in a pretty good age and you're saying, right, I want all of you to compete, and there isn't a set plan in terms of how they play, that is going to cause a problem eventually. And that's going to be Maresca's biggest, like, more than just
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with your point, Olu. But I think again, it's just going to be down to Maresca. So we have to wait and see on that one.
You know how people say like, "Oh, Felix, you don't get output." Like, do you not think that's blown out of proportion? Because in the right team,
I think for me, again, I'm not even.
He doesn't even play that frequently or that well for his national team.
I would actually argue one of Felix's best attributes is his dribbling. And in a team where we need dribbling, particularly in these 1v1 scenarios that are being, created by the manager, I actually think, he can do a job there. That's the thing. Like, again, all I want from him, can he do a job that helps the team work? That's what it comes down to for me. And he himself, and you know what I would say to you, I think he himself knows that he has to pop out and show out, as they say. Right? So if he's got, so listen, it's going to be down to him to show.
I think he wasted the money, though. I think he could have improved.
I think. Listen, I hear you. I can understand that school of thought, but the reality was
we said that many times.
I think he's a decent player. I don't think he's any better than like somebody like Giovanni Lo Celso.
No, but who's better in the market than Felix right now for that price? Would you say?
I think you're misunderstanding the point, Ahmed.
No.
Actually,
the money. How's it waste?
Don't buy Felix.
There is no Ahmed. There is no justification for any club. That's what you don't understand, Ahmed. There is no justification for any club to play 44 million pounds or even 40 million pounds for a player like Joao Felix, someone who had a lot of potential. He was at Benfica, and until this current moment, he hasn't replicated that, and he hasn't even lived up to any.
He's only 24, though. I'm saying he's only 24. It's not if he was
Saka's 22 and Cole Palmer is 21 years old and Phil Foden is 24. And
you have
a lot of players.
And he's not Cole Palmer.
Again,
hold on. I think he's the same age as Odegaard, if I'm not mistaken. Odegaard is 1 year older. Odegaard is 25. He's 20.
He's only like 2 years younger than Giovanni Lo Celso, who can't.
My friend Ahmed, I know why. Guys, David Ornstein said it's 44 million pounds. Am I wrong, Ahmed? Can you correct me? I went to Twitter to check.
I think it was 40 or 42.5. It was one of those two, I'm pretty sure.
Bro, David Ornstein's last tweet is saying 44 million pounds plus a sell-on clause. Am I wrong here? Are you guys following Pies or something?
But the thing is, I don't know. We don't know if
People,
it's 44
and then
is it-
people like
yeah, it's
retweet
44.5 million.
David
It's
Ornstein.
44.5 million. Yeah, it's 44.5
What the
million.
fuck, bro?
Yeah.
And then you're
Plus a
buying,
sell-on clause.
and then
Plus a
you- and
sell-on clause.
and then you're buying Piers and you're buying Estavia William as well to bring in next year. Which again, the
It's
point I'm trying to
literally
make is
David Ornstein fucking tweeted. Chelsea
you
set to
are
complete Joao Felix signing from Atletico Madrid. P 44.5 million pounds.
But
No
one thing
add-on,
I will
a
say,
sell-on clause, bro.
one
There
thing
is
I will
no
say to
bonus.
you- yeah. Only one thing I will say though is
No,
that
because people in the chat, you guys go follow. Like I am literally quoting the journalist that broke out the news. So you go follow
Yeah.
your ISAs or whatever you want to follow, Chelsea Dodgers or whatever account. I follow them as well. But I go to the original tweet, bro. These
yeah, I was
guys,
gonna
I
yeah.
follow them.
Olu, I would just say to you about the Pies thingy stuff. I think the reality is we know that Madueke is gonna get moved on next season. Sterling's already on the way out. Mudryk probably on the way out too. So again, the spots for them already available. I would actually argue more so than anything else. Even Carney Chukwuemeka, sadly, it's looking like he's going to Crystal Palace. It seems with the way things are going for him. So
this comes back to my original point when I said Chelsea are a flip, and all of a sudden, I am right again.
Now you're not right. Hold on.
You
hold
know,
on.
you guys know.
it's a bit. It's a bit. I think it's a bit of A. I've always said it's a bit of A and B.
You guys
Chelsea
know
are
what?
a
I
flip.
just want to know why you guys allow Chelsea fans to say they're going to finish in the top 4. But if I say we're going to like even just stay where we are from last season, I get laughed at. It's a travesty. It's fraudulent.
I actually predicted Chelsea to finish top 4.
The history of the Tottenham.
No,
That's
the history of Tottenham is we finished in top 4 more times than you have in the last decade. So that's the history of the Tottenham.
Wait, can we go? Let's look over the whole Premier League era. Let's not just look at 10 years because you always do this. You always pick a specific period of time to make your argument.
You pick the narrative that works for you.
Wait, stop. I die.
No, because you guys have to go back to the History Channel in order to pick up the times when you guys were good.
The Premier League history, Premier League only, EPL history.
Premier League
Let's look at
only,
EPL
fine.
history because we talk
Right,
about Liverpool's one win and the Premier League.
This is no way of coping with no
let's
Prem,
go.
bro. I'm telling
Go
you.
on.
There's no
Listen,
way.
Premier League
It's the way of the coping, bro. Don't worry, man.
Wait,
It's
Will,
always
Will,
look at the white guys
Will,
in what's
Will,
it called
Will,
in North London.
Will, can I ask a question now? So over the
You can
Premier
ask me
League
a question.
era, over the Premier League era, how many times have Tottenham finished above Arsenal?
How many times have we finished? I don't know. It would be from
You answer,
probably
yeah, you
20,
answer the question,
2004
you know.
until
So, no, from 1992,
2000.
when the Premier League was, and Sky introduced it. Sorry. Oh, my wife is apparently I'm shouting. From 1992, when the Premier League was introduced to 2024, how many times have Tottenham
Answer the
finished
question. Give
above-
us the number.
Yeah, I currently don't know. I literally said I
That
don't know.
stats today, innit? Like, I don't know what the number is.
Do you know the number, Olu?
Too many times. that's the answer.
I think it's 6,
Fraudulent
7.
Olu.
But when you look
You
in the
don't know the
last
stats.
10
What
years,
was the point
it's
in that then?
twice.
Stop looking
Twice
at 10 years.
in the last 10 years.
Stop looking. Listen,
Twice.
in the past 2 years,
In the
Arsenal
last
Maybe
10
3.
years, Arsenal finished above Spurs 2 times.
2 or 3, yeah. That's it.
Wow. Only twice.
What the fuck? You see,
Yeah, that's
I know.
mad, though.
so on.
And what happened before then?
It's actually mad though.
What happened before then? Before the
Oh,
10 years, what happened?
You guys finished above a lot. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
There you go. Let's not decide.
You
Anyway,
have
anyway,
to
I wanna-
go
it
back
doesn't-
between
it doesn't
when
matter-
people
it
were
doesn't
wearing
matter
Why are
when
we
it's
baggy
going
yours.
back
shirts.
to Arsenal?
Bro,
Why the fuck? This
This
is now called the North London show. We're going
Yeah.
back to Chelsea
Listen,
United.
you know what it is, man. This is
literally-
what happens when you get like the white and red sides of London, man. You know what I mean? We need to stop them from doing this, man.
No,
I was going to say with the strikers here, with Chelsea, with the strikers here. Look. They've tried Lukaku. They've tried Morata. They've tried Higuain, them out and out strikers here. Who knows with Felix in it? It could work out. Different type of profile, yeah. And we'll see in it because look at them type of out and out number 9s, yeah. It's only really Harry Kane and Lewandowski, and that's it. So with Felix, yeah, he's not got the most credibility in terms of other teams in terms of performing, yeah. But the reason why I say he will do well is because once, like, I believe that if a player joins the right team and for the right coach, because that's why you mentioned Foden and Saka. Foden and Saka have been playing under a very, very good system, yeah, with very good players consistently year in, year out, and they were able to develop.
Are you calling Maresca a good system? Is that because
potentially. No, I'm making Foden. Potentially, it's a good system for Felix. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a guarantee. We still have to see more. But with Arsenal, and,
listen. I'll be honest, boys and girls, and I'll say this again. We'll see what happens with Chelsea next 5 to 6 weeks. You might be cooking, hopefully.
Okay, so
is Zinchenko gonna play again? Is that Savinho guy?
he's got to get off, by the way.
I hope not. I checked. So Arsenal, Spurs finished above Arsenal 8 times. 21 times Arsenal finished above Tottenham. So there you go.
Come on, why are you getting insecure about
one?
Tottenham?
That's a one. That's a one.
Listen, this is why London is blue, and this is why London is blue. This is why London is blue, by the way.
That's my
This
point.
is why London is blue.
Oh,
This is
you
why London is blue.
To be honest,
This
he's
is why London is
saying
blue.
that
All these little kiddies running
uh,
around, and with them are
Aaron,
winning trophies. London is
we
blue
shouldn't-
always.
we shouldn't put down Felix just yet. Odegaard's first loan stint up for Arsenal wasn't that great
Thank you.
either. You never know.
That's
Here is the
Yeah.
problem with this. Let me answer this. The problem is Felix wasn't loaned out, wasn't a player that is young and upcoming. Felix was handed a contract and a role at Atletico Madrid, and he failed to do it. When he went to Barcelona, Barcelona didn't want to redeem him. You guys know when he went to Chelsea, Chelsea refused to redeem the guy. They didn't like him. They actually didn't want to redeem the guy. This deal only happened because what Chelsea did now, and I'm telling you how I see this deal. Chelsea replaced an asset that will expire next season with an asset that will expire in 6 years. That's all you did, Ahmed. It's not that you wanted Felix. It is not that you targeted this type of a player or you wanted that profile. You tried to shop at Atletico Madrid to ship Gallagher to them because they threatened Chelsea not to have Gallagher. And they threatened Chelsea to reverse the deal. Chelsea shopped around and they saw, oh, Felix, good player, good potential, and a good asset. If we can make him work, we can flip him for profit, or he can be good. He has the talent, though, as Ahmed says. He has a lot of talent at his feet. Every time you watch the guy's a talented footballer. Amazing, actually, on the eye, right? But he hasn't lived up to the potential. Similar to a lot of other players that have a lot of talent. Giovanni Lo Celso was a magnificent footballer and looked absolutely amazing. Failed to impress. And it's not about the number of goals. It's about the number of chances you create. It's about the effectiveness on the pitch. Joao Felix, with every single team, with Atletico Madrid, with the national team, with Barcelona, and with Chelsea, he was good for a bit with Chelsea, but a lot of Chelsea fans complained about why.
Yeah, but the problem is with this, Mo. I'll let me come back to you on this one, Mo. Yeah, the problem with that, with these guys who were complaining about that stuff, was because Havertz was not performing in that team. Who else was in that team? Mount, Gallagher, Broha was literally in that team. None of the team was working well. We had the situation of Potter. We had.
You're talking about Chelsea only. Here is your.
No, but I'm talking about. But that was the time he was at.
Your
Chelsea,
evidence. Your evidence is only okay. Your evidence is a short stint at Chelsea. Yes. Our evidence is his time at Atletico Madrid, his time at Barcelona, and that's a bigger sample size for us to say that the guy has not produced. You want to compare that short stint, and we want to compare the long ones.
And
is it more likely? Can I ask you a question simply before we move on? Is it more likely that it works or it doesn't work? Be honest. Based on the evidence we have seen from Joao Felix over the past 5 years, and what is most likely?
And also add into as well when you're saying this, the conditions Chelsea are in right now with the number of players they have playing the same positions.
I would disagree.
Be honest.
Because I don't know, bro. I'll be honest. I would honestly say 50-50 right now, personally. 50-50 right now. And one thing I would add, yeah, because you mentioned the fact that we didn't take him on last season. That was because Pochettino and Lampard told Pochettino that to not take him in. And the thing of Lampard is I don't respectfully trust his talent ID. So again, that's just me.
Fair. I would say listen, any player can turn the career around.
I hope it works because I put my neck on the line and said Chelsea will make top 4. So
it has to work, bro. It's 50-50. I would say personally 50-50 that it works. But I would but we'll see what happens, bro.
I think it's more likely that it doesn't than it does, right? And then and this is the reason why. Like the period of Giovanni Lo Celso and Tanguy Ndombele, these types of players are the ones that ruined hype players for me. They ruined it, right? And I'm sure, like Pepe for Arsenal fans, it's kind of a similar thing, right? Like these type of players that came out of Spain or France with this massive hype around them they have failed more often than not in the Premier League than they've succeeded, right? They have failed more times than they've succeeded. Like Giovanni Lo Celso at Betis was flying, was amazing, right?
I don't know. It's really weird. He does
Dembele
well
at
for
Lyon was
Lo Celso
on
does
fire.
well for his country team, but like when he's playing for you guys, I don't know what it is, bro.
But see, and it's the same thing with Sancho. Sancho plays well in Germany. He doesn't play well in
yeah,
Britain,
it's just
right?
really weird. I don't know what it is for Lo
That's
Celso.
why you have to join the right team. That's the point.
Certain
You join the
players'
right-
styles fit
That's what it
certain
is.
leagues.
And you're
That's what I'm
assuming
saying.
that Chelsea in the current moment are the right team, Ahmed. You're assuming.
But
And
what I'm
that's
saying is,
The
what I'm
facts
saying,
there.
no, but what I'm saying is that when Havertz was at Chelsea, most Arsenal fans were not convinced because the 3 years that he gave Chelsea were not convincing. Ahmed will tell you this. Yeah, his performances weren't convincing. He had one highlight in the Champions League. He joins Arsenal for Arteta, good team, knows what he's doing, plays him in his role, and then slowly, towards the end of the season, the second half, he was doing well. All I'm saying
Look,
is,
I don't know
in
why
the
Ahmed's
rest-
like. I don't know why he's pushing Harvey out Felix when his
Because
team
Felix
is
is a quality- bro, I
literally
just-
the
quality-
blueprint for hype players failing in the Premier League. Anthony, Sancho. Like, how many do I got to list?
Bro, like,
Casemiro.
Casemiro's not flopped. What are you talking about?
He was horrible last season.
Yeah,
What are
but
you talking
I
about?
feel like Casemiro
1-1.
He's 1-1 right now.
He's
innit?
1-1.
Yeah,
One
For
on
the
one.
money,
he's not
for
bad
the
season.
money, for the money
Casemiro
he
was
spent
walking
and his
that time.
wages, he shouldn't be 1-1 at
Yeah.
all. To be
But
honest,
also, that's true. But also, I'll say this. Sorry, I'll say
Pogba
this.
hasn't flopped though. So what is? See, this is
So,
the
wait,
word flop
wait.
gets.
When we say
gets
when we use
thrown around too
Havertz,
easily.
when we use Havertz as well as an example, I'll say Arteta probably found a way to get him integrated. And that's why, I mean, Mo's banged on about this since last year. In the midfield, when he just dropped him in midfield and said, go and play, he was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And it was only when Arteta started to find ways to get the best out of the way he plays, i.e. his movements, that he saw the best come out of Havertz, right? So the thing about Felix is, my question is going to be, one, can Maresca create a system that essentially gets the best out of all these players who seem to play in the same position, right? And you have to cater for those players.
But
and then
again,
two,
You can't use. You
yeah,
can't.
but
use-
Ahmed, before you go, I'm just going again. I understand the point because Ollie's made this point already. It's just that again, guys, we can't. I feel like yes, it's all well and good saying this, but we need to see what happens
Yes.
in the next 5 6 because for me personally, you know, we can
Ahmed,
keep on going
we
around
have
in
to see,
circles.
of course, that work.
But at this
trying to
point, I
see.
feel like we're going in circles, bro. In the sense that yes, we can keep on saying the same things. Can Maresca do this? Can Maresca do that? We don't know this yet because we don't have the data points. So we have to see the data
Of
points
course.
actually happen.
Let's actually, guys, we got over 700 people here and we're not even on 300 likes. We need to get to 500 likes live, guys. We need to get to 500 likes live. We need to go back to the like button, guys. You guys forgot that the like button look like thumbs up underneath the live chat. Hit the like button. It helps the algorithms, guys. It helps the algorithms. I want to go on to Man United. 10 out of 10 window. By the way, they're about to ship McTominay somewhere. Get Ugarte.
Really?
Apparently, Napoli's interested in McTominay.
No, don't gas me, bro. I thought he was staying because Fulham pulled out. Is that what? Has Romano just tweeted it now?
Yeah, I just would see that now. That you're interested.
Yeah, but the problem is you're asking again. Man United asking so much money, bro. 30 million euros. Napoli is definitely not going to pay 30 million euros.
You don't have that juice, man. That's the problem, man. United need to realize they don't have that selling juice, man.
You don't. They don't like the guy, bro. But anyway, I want to talk about the window of Man United and how Man United shaped this season to finish third, as people say.
Bro, like I said, with United, yeah, I personally don't think we're going to finish third. However, what we did in the transfer window is good business in terms of the players that we've bought. You know, we've got Mazraoui and De Ligt for a combination of 60 mil. You know, you see how we was linked to Brandthwaite for 75 mil, yeah? And we didn't go ahead with it. You know, Everton were trying to ask for too much money. We went for alternatives. Instead, we got 2 centre-backs. Yes, one is injured, but the intent is there to go for someone else and do multiple deals at a time. We also got Zirkzee as well, who's a young, we got him for quite a good price. Young striker as well, different profile for 34 mil, who Milan wanted. So in terms of who we bought this season, yeah, I think we've done the job. My only issue yet is that the outgoings. I want us to sell the players like McTominay. I want us to get rid of Lindelof. I want us to get rid of more players. So if McTominay does go, then I'm happy with the window. And I think that we have done more than enough here way more than enough in terms of backing the manager. This manager has been backed very well this season. He's basically got now what? I think that's 6 Ajax players he's got. He's got De Ligt, he's got Onana, he's got Mazraoui, he's got Lissandro Martinez, and he's got Ericsson played at Ajax, but I don't know if he'll start playing. He's got so many players.
He didn't coach him. He didn't coach him.
He didn't coach him. Yeah, he didn't coach him. So for me, this season, yeah, I'm expecting us to, even though I don't think it's going to happen, but what I'm saying is he's been given so many tools. The window's been good. The window has been good in terms of like who. But the only one issue, yeah, as well is that I don't think that we need to get more midfielders. That's the only problem because Ugarte by himself is not enough for me. It's not enough.
I mean, you have Casemiro, yeah, still.
No, but because we're playing Europa League, rotation's going to happen. So I'm just saying, like,
But you have Casemiro, Kobe Mino, Bruno Fernandes, you have Ericsson, you get Ugarte. I think that's enough for you.
yeah, enough. But I just want us to get rid of Mason Mount, bro. I'm telling you, I just want us to get rid of
Minerals.
But you're definitely not getting rid of Mason Mount, bro.
Yeah, Mason Mount's horrible, man. He is horrible.
Minerals.
They give him how many years? 6 years contract last
Two.
season?
Chelsea did a Benfica on you
Mount?
guys. Chelsea did a Benfica on you.
6-year deal. And how much did they pay for guys?
You
60
literally
million.
gave Mason Mount 6 years deal.
250k a week as well, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So
Oh, no.
Yeah,
50k.
yeah, he's one of the highest paid players, by the way.
he's on 240
Is
a week.
Sancho still there? Is Sancho still there?
Sancho
Yeah,
is still
yeah.
there. Sancho
Yeah.
is still there. I'm pretty sure that they're trying to sell him because he wasn't in the
I
squad.
actually don't think PSG's gonna go in for him. You know, I'll be serious, bro. PSG's not gonna go in for him. So
Mount is never leaving Manchester United, bro.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's-
bro.
50k a week.
he might become the
This
new
is an-
Maguire.
this
You
is
know?
an
He might
Alexis
become the new
Sanchez
Maguire.
situation.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you something with Mount. We're stuck with Mason Mount. We're stuck with him for a long time because, bro, like the thing is with him, yeah. I've spoken to so many Chelsea fans. Even his time at Chelsea, there was loads of Chelsea that didn't even rate him. So I saw people in that.
You
I
Well,
like
it's
Mason Mount, actually.
You know
Now,
what happened to Mount? Yeah, I'll tell you what happened to Mount. His like final 2 seasons at Chelsea, he kind of actually declined, like because he was being overplayed. He got overplayed way too much, and that led to his decline. Basically, at Chelsea, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, but even at his best, he wasn't like anything special. That's what I'm saying. He was just an okay player. Like even when he was doing all right for you,
I think he was a pretty decent player. I have to say,
yeah,
bro.
decent average.
Yeah.
He's average at best, and the
Pretty
fact
good
that he's
player.
declined, that means his.
Mason Mount is not that bad. Come on. man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good. I
You know what the
honestly-
problem is? Your system is shite, bro.
No, I'm not having
can't
that.
use
Bro.
Mason Mount.
This guy, I swear to God, his only good attribute is running around. Wallahi, that's the only good thing.
That's not true. He's
That's the
actually,
only thing. That's the only
no,
thing.
he was a good passer.
Is it
as
Gallagher
well. When-
2.0?
He's not a good
No,
passer. No.
No, don't say that. Mason
wasn't
Mount
good
was
passer.
very good moving between the lines at
Nah.
Chelsea. He was the gun, bro.
He was a good
It's not
passer at
that bad.
Chelsea. He regressed. Listen, like he had injuries first of all, right? And also, like Ahmed said, he was overplayed.
What does he excel at?
And-
What does he excel at?
Again,
He
you know, I
declined
give this,
massively.
yeah, yeah.
Thomas
You know,
Tuchel came in.
Again, I'll give you a little statistic, guys. Yeah, he has 49 less appearances than what's it called? Not Makaleli. John Obi Mikel. He was there for us for like 13, 14 years. That's how many. That's how much he played for us in that short stint that he was at the club. So no wonder his body's gonna break down. Essentially, like at United, it broke down for a reason.
But what I'm saying is as well in the midfield, I think the reason why I think Ugarte will help here is because he's that type of player that's obviously he's going to cover ground in it. So there's going to be.
I'll be honest, bro. I don't rate Ugarte. I've watched him at Ligue 1. And you know I've watched him at Ligue 1, yeah. He was getting physically bullied.
That's
right,
why.
in Ligue
Okay,
1.
look,
And I know in this league, he's getting cooked.
that's why I'm going to make my judgment. Yeah, when because I've not seen Ligue 1 like that. So when he plays for United, I'll take your opinion to account in that area. But for me, profile wise, I think he's needed at United in terms of like what he offers because there's going to be less of a reliant on Casemiro doing like 3 other jobs like covering this place, covering that area. So I think with him it could potentially be a decent signing, and it's only a loan as well. So
That's what.
if his loan doesn't work out,
Every
I
time
thought it was a
look at
loan
this
of
Man
obligation,
United-
bro. I thought it was a loan of obligation.
It's an
no?
obligation. It's an obligation, Ahmed. It's a
Yeah,
loan.
so he's here to stay, big man. He's here to stay.
Like you said, yeah, but
I want to
he's not
ask
a player,
everyone here a question. Every time I'm looking at this Man United squad with this manager, I don't know what the ceiling is.
Yeah, but
What's the
that's
aim
that's
of
the
You know
Manchester
what-
United?
That's the one thing.
You know, I know the aim of Chelsea. Play players, make top 4, make money, maybe challenge later. maybe make their own Arteta project. You know what I mean? Spurs under Ange, great brand of football. Maybe try to win a cup, maybe challenge, get back to top 4 and stuff like this. I'm looking at this Man United. I don't know what the aim is.
I'll tell you what the
stealing
season
here.
I'll tell you what the season.
Not the season, bro. Not the season. I'm talking even long-term plan. What is the plan?
There is no. I'm going to say it like this. There's no long-term plan with Ten Hag, because if there was long-term plan, they would have given him a new contract. It's only 1 year extension. So even Ineos aren't really feeling him like that. So it depends what they do. If we watched the Fulham game. I know we won, and I'm happy we got the 3 points, but it wasn't a convincing win, if you're going to be honest. Objectively speaking, we did not play well as a team. Yeah, we didn't play as well as a team. We just got, like, obviously Zirkzee, a moment of brilliance, and he got us the goal. Yes, we missed a few chances here and there from Fulham's mistakes here, but this is why I always said we actually have some decent, good players. I might be harsh on them, but we've got good enough players to be playing a better brand of football, which is why when people say to me, "Oh, why are you not excited, Ahmed? Why are you not excited?" The manager is going to hold this team back. He's going to hold it back.
Ten Hag is the greatest equalizer. Yeah, he's the equalizer, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro,
he's the one that's. That's what he's saying, bro. You know what I mean? That's what he's saying. He's saying that for everything good, Ten Hag is the great equalizer that's going to bring everything down, basically. He's bringing balance.
Bro, I'm telling you, long-term plan. I think with United, I think it's going to be about, like, just getting results this season. I don't think they have an intent in trying to win the title or do a title charge, bro. I actually think the board will be happy with just top 4, which is not good enough for me. I don't think that's good enough for a guy who is in his 3rd season, who's pushing almost, like, 500-600 million pounds with 6 Ajax players. The intent should be to do a title charge and play some good football.
Listen, I don't think anyone who is in that board will be saying to him, "Don't make a title charge." I think there might be a reality where they say, actually, maybe we're not there yet in terms of quality, but it is an opportunity. Well, the noise, I think, in Man United will never be, we just want to settle for top 4. And I think all top clubs feel that way. I think we put it upon ourselves to say that, oh, we're just going for top 4. I think the perception will always be in the boardroom, we have to reach for the top. Now, maybe under the Glazers, where it was slightly different and it was all about monetary gains in the stock market, it was different. But I think, like you said, you guys believe in Ineos. You know, we'll see what.
I still want to see it. I want to
Ineos Nation,
of course. But what I'm saying is that I would say, start the season, when they sit him down in the boardroom and they say to him, right, your plans for this season, they will probably say, we want to win the league. Now, we might not be better than Man City, we might not be better than Arsenal, but we do want to win the league. I think that will be there, right? I think, personally, the sins of Man United still exist, and there's still a lot of clearing out you need to do. Like you said, you got your McTominays, you got your Maguires, you got your Luke Shaws,
Shaw as well,
and so forth, right? So there needs to be almost, again, I always use the Arsenal example, and I hate always bringing it back to Arsenal, but it's the only one I can really think of off the top of my head. We had to do, of course, we have to glaze the Arsenal. No, we had to do a root, we had to do a root and branch work when it came to getting rid of players. Like, when Arteta came in, he at some point we had to reset everything. And I think the same thing has to happen now. Whether Ten Hag has the ability to do that, that's always been my question. I don't see him as a manager who has the personality to be able to say, actually, this is the vision of where I want a club to go to. And which is why I think he has become a coach rather than a manager. Because he came in as a manager and they've demoted him down to coach. Because I don't think he has that same vision. In the same way that with Arteta, they promoted him to manager because there was something that he said and he believed. And obviously that's the fruition. So yeah, I'll say the target is always going to be the league for Man United. I'll always believe that.
You can kind of tell as well. This might not be true, but it might be true as well. You can kind of tell with the amount of Ruud van Nistelrooy, like with the amount of videos we're seeing him, like it kind of looks like that. They're shaping him into.
I see it. I see what you're saying.
There's a lot of there. You know how they were saying Ruud's aura, Ruud this, Ruud that. It seems to me that they're trying. That's like a contingency plan. It's like a backup plan in case things go badly, and they'll give him.
Was it another Ollie play? Is that what they're doing, or what?
Things are not going to go badly.
Van Nistelrooy have more experience.
Van Nistelrooy is going to take over. Things are not going badly. They gave him a 1-year contract. They're not going to renew the contract after it's done. Just watch. That's what they're going to do.
No. By the way, they actually give him a new year after next year, Dio.
No option. No, it's 1 year with an option to renew for 1 year. Is that not what?
He already has a contract now. Officially expires at 2026, not 2025.
Oh, okay. No, I thought it expires 2025.
Right,
but
right,
contract's
Ahmed?
renewed for
They
2020.
give him the extra year.
Yes, bonus
Yeah,
year.
yes.
Yeah.
2026, Dio. So they can't fire him after this year without compensation.
I know, but I mean, it's they can if they fire him for 1 year. Compensation for 1 year is not as bad as having a 5-year contract, a 4
Yeah,
or
it'll be
6-year
less
contract. You
cheaper.
know, it'll be cheaper to pay him off for 1 year if he gets the team solidly based with Ruud van Nistelrooy being the assistant and both of them working with the players. Ruud getting to know the players very well that he also wants to keep or whatever it is, and I think maybe that. I mean, that's if there's any basis to that conspiracy, then yeah. Because you giving him just a 2 year.
They didn't want Ten Hag, bro.
I know, but
Oh,
they
I'm
kept
telling
him.
you,
But
They
they
did
kept
not
him.
want him.
Why did they
the
bring
Then
him
why
back?
did they keep him then?
Because
Just
they
go get-
couldn't find anyone else.
But they
They
found
wanted-
Van
they
Nistelrooy.
want-
But hold on, but they found
wanted
Van
Deserbi and
Nistelrooy.
Tuchel, and he-
They can do this. They can bring Van Nistelrooy in the first year.
So they
Yeah.
brought
Tell
Van
him,
Nistelrooy as an
come and take
assistant.
the keys, bro.
Yeah,
You're
no.
an
So
assistant
so you're
now.
saying Ten Hag's a snake in the grass, yeah? He's just snake in the grass. He's just waiting, biding his time, giving Ten Hag the fake tactics, yeah. And then he's
I mean,
gonna super
Van
sit
Nistelrooy,
there,
but also, I
I mean,
mean,
if that was me, if I knew I was getting out, I don't know, I'd tank it on
The
purpose.
thing is, yeah, the thing is,
Bro,
look,
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
The
Yeah.
big
Ten
FBU to the
Hag,
club.
bro, I'm telling you, if Ten Hag had any dignity, he would have resigned.
100%.
100%.
This
Wolfsburg,
guy-
they violated.
This guy, and I'm telling you, and I don't know. Listen, I'm not in the same boots. I'm not getting paid millions to coach Manchester United. Right? I'm not. But gone the days of managers that used to resign. I remember back in the days, managers used to resign themselves to save their face.
Self-respect.
These days are gone, bro. These days
Money.
are gone.
Mo,
Ten-
that's 'cause-
yes,
that's 'cause
Ten,
if you
I'm
resign-
telling you,
Wait,
Ten
sorry.
Hag had the worst coaching season of Man United's history in the Premier League, statistics-wise, finish-wise.
Yep.
Yes, you won the cup, and he had the audacity and the balls to come out publicly and say, "By at the end, I won a trophy." You just had the worst season of
But
the
you know
history.
why?
He's a shameless guy. This guy,
But you
and by the way, I saw people. Wallahi, I saw people when they get bad results in clubs resign. Just
Mo,
resign.
so
Save your
the reason-
face.
the reason
Walk
why
away.
the reason why he wouldn't resign is actually because if you resign from your contract, you don't actually get paid out the rest of your contract.
Yeah, of
If they
course, I
fire
know that.
you,
I
they
know
have
that.
to pay you out. So
No,
for
but,
him,
but
he's-
also
he's playing
but
hardball. He's saying,
mutual
"Just pay
contact.
me."
There is mutual things.
Of
Antonio
course,
Mutual
Conte
termination, mutual
left
termination.
Inter.
mutual terminations. Yeah, you
Antonio
pay a
Conte left
percentage.
Inter. Of course, you aren't
Conte
getting
left
the whole
Spurs.
amount. Of course, you
Yeah,
aren't getting the whole amount. Conte didn't get the whole amount. They had
yeah,
an
of course, that's
agreement.
true.
I'm gonna walk out because we disagree on stuff. Pochettino. They said they sacked Pochettino. At the end, it turned out to be, we're not renewing your contract. You have 1 year left, and this is how it's gonna go, right?
Yeah, but also,
Because
but
we
would
didn't
you?
give any contract.
would-
This
if
guy is shameless, bro. He
Mo,
he
would
came
you-
like, what did he come like, 8th, Ahmed, or 7th,
Eighth,
or what?
eighth, yeah,
Mo,
eighth.
Yeah,
Mo,
eighth
Mo.
in the league.
And he
bro,
come
eighth
out
in
and
the
said
league.
at the end, I won a trophy, you fucking bozo.
You know, he
Mo,
also
Bro
said,
really said,
he
yeah,
said-
no.
he also
Wait,
said,
so
yeah,
let's-
hold on.
Mo,
He
go
also
on.
said that if you sack me, yeah, because I've got 2 trophies, yeah, I'll win trophies elsewhere. That's what he said in the FA Cup final.
But
I'll
that's
win
what
The
trophies.
guy is shameless, bro.
Bro, listen, that is fair because in the end, he has to look out for himself. I mean, yes, of course, sometimes there's things where you are self-aware, but at the same time, it's like he is in the bargaining power in terms of he's just won something. So if you're not going to get rid of him and he needs to go to another job, he's selling himself to another job in terms of saying that I win things. It's just perception, right? And also, if you're getting paid 11 million a year, would you walk away from 11 million? Or
The
would
same
you say, pay me?
the same fan base, Olu, that praise the fact that winning trophies is all it's about. It's not about him.
Yeah, but hold on, hold on.
But all of a sudden now the guy is now saying, okay, yeah, I broke every bad record. I did very badly, but hey, the trophy that you
I
wanted,
go for it,
here you go.
but I won the
Here
cup.
you go. The guy goes, here you go. Here's your trophy. Yes, the same fan base comes back
You know
and
what I
says,
mean?
oh, he's terrible. He's this.
You
So
know, but I still want
you
it
need
to
to pick a
He,
struggle.
he really, at the end, after he won that trophy.
No, but the thing is with
crazy,
me,
man.
despite us winning the FA Cup here, I still want him gone in it. Like,
Yeah,
my
Ahmed wanted him
my
sacked.
opinion,
I know,
yeah,
Ahmed, that's you though. That's you. I'm saying that you know
but the
you're
general
not,
consensus, what you're talking
yeah,
about, I
you're not
understand.
Ahmed, you're not you're the exception of Man U fans that I've seen, right? I'm talking about like based on
In general.
in general, like you, I
Yeah,
always
yeah,
hear
yeah, yeah.
you wanted him out. I hear you all the time, but sadly, you're the one on the panel who's going to take the heat for your remaining Man U fans. Because
You
the
know what
truth
it is,
is-
man. You know what it is.
The
You
truth
know what it
is,
is, man.
the truth is
Ahmed's not a
exactly.
truth
Look,
fan.
see, Ahmed. I like what he just wrote down here right now. Ten Hag actually right now is the most second successful manager in this Premiership after Pep. Klopp has left after Pep.
No.
Oh yeah, tell me who else has won more trophies, because that's what you guys argue about. Like, and that's the thing. This same fan base needs to pick their battle.
Mm.
But that's because
Like,
our standard is high, though. That's
You
the
know,
thing.
so yeah.
Like, for me,
No,
like, for me,
you change the
Let-
standards.
let me just say this quickly,
Bro,
man. You know,
Bro,
just
if your
back the manager,
standards
man.
were high,
Back
the
gaffer,
coach that
man.
finished the worst in the
If it's
history of the
trophy-wise,
Premier
no,
League
like
should be
my
fucking
standard, my
named
standard,
out.
my standard, my
Yeah.
standard. Not,
Ahmed,
if
just back
your
the manager,
standards
bro.
are
You know,
high,
yeah. You know what? It's
give me a
Ahmed.
break,
To back
bro.
the
This
manager.
notion that we only care about the trophies. If my club win the Serie A and we finish 8th or 9th, I want the fucker sacked
yeah, same.
the day the season ends, bro. Standards, not standards, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you
Look,
have to watch the
If
team
my
play.
bro, if my coach loses at Bournemouth at home at the Theatre of Dreams 3-0 in the tunnel,
What I'm
slap
saying is,
him
what I'm
and
saying
give
is,
him the boots, bro.
yeah, I agree with that. What I'm saying is my standard. If you're talking about the whole fan base as a United, bro, the United fan base, the majority want McTominay to stay. I know my fan base right now is finished. My fan base is finished. Like, you know, they were praising that Fulham performance, and they can say what they want. But in terms of like my aspect and what I want, yeah, like because I know that we have a good enough team to be playing good football, just a decent manager. I'm not even asking for the top. A decent manager, even like an Ange type manager or anyone, yeah, who knows what he's doing. Rival fans would be
Ahmed, would you take would you take Ange Postecoglou and not win
Yes.
the FA? Well, hold on, and not win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Hold on, and just you know, come 5th or come 6th or challenge to 3rd or 4th or make Champions League, or would you take Eric Ten Hag every year, who even if he comes 8th, he's going to win the Carabao and the FA Cup consistently? He can win even a double. Like he might even just go and win the double this year. But
I would rather have a manager like Ange because there's more long term of a plan and there's more likelihood of me.
All right,
winning
fine.
the trophy.
Listen, Dorian, man. Listen, you know what's
Hold
going
on,
to happen,
just
guys?
one more thing, yeah. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can actually do both. You can also.
No, I agree. No, you can do both.
can
I was
actually
just being facetious.
I
was just
understand your
being,
question. Yeah.
You know what's going to happen, guys? Dorian Hall's going to stay this season. He'll probably get another FA Cup or Carabao Cup.
Nah, but that's your
Something
coping,
like that.
isn't it? You're scared, isn't it? If we get a new manager,
Just one question
Bro,
before
no,
we
but-
end.
It's one thing I was
I'm
going to
not
say.
scared of
I was
you
gonna-
even
well,
getting
he's
a new
not scared,
manager.
bro.
I don't
I was
think your
gonna say
squad
this.
is that good.
Yeah,
Our
I
squad's
think.
better than Tottenham's.
Okay, let's not do this.
It's
Let's not do it. Please don't let's do this.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say-
not
I-
going
Listen,
into
listen,
this.
it's too late this year.
I was
too late.
going to say, I was going to say something. The problem with a lot of United fans, and actually it's the same with a lot of fans who support big clubs. Sorry, Will. Okay, successful clubs, is that we're spoiled by the past. You're spoiled by what Fergie was doing, right? So you think that that's the norm. Again, prior to Fergie, you guys had not won the title for X amount of years. I think it was like 30 years. It's actually normal.
66, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. It was something crazy, right? So again, you're used to what Fergie did, and what Fergie did was abnormal. And the same with what Pep is doing is abnormal. Like you don't get many managers who actually do what they've done. It's not the norm. And so I think that you're trying to hold this sort of stand. And when it comes to standards FC, they hold it to something that isn't something you see all the time. There's only a certain number of managers who actually win back to back to back to back to back. And listen, as much as Ten Hag, has got his faults, and I'll say, the problem with Ten Hag is that if you're a Man United fan, the problem is that you're not watching highlights of your games every weekend because most times you're losing. That is painful, right? I want to watch the highlights. I want to enjoy the game.
We can still win, though. That's the problem.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So that's the thing is, this is where it becomes contradictory. Do you care more about the winning, or do you care about watching your team? And you guys flip flop between both of those things.
I care about both. I care about both.
Right.
Anyway, listen. And on that note, Donna season, Mr. William, will Spurs finish above Arsenal?
This season, probably not.
No.
Simple answer. He said simple answer. Listen, guys, this show is gonna take you to Ahmed's channel, The Bridge. He's gonna do a show, and of course, there is in the description there is Ahmed Man United channel, of course, and Banter on the page, of course, and Chez's channel, who's not here. I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you for everybody watching us. Appreciate you, Will. Appreciate Olu, Dayo.
If we sign
Ahmed,
Eze,
and Ahmed.
yes.
You're not signing anyone.
Pick it up, man. Love.
What about Locatelli? Before we go, quick question: do you think Locatelli does anything now that Bentancur is injured? Should we really be pushing for Locatelli?
How big is the injury of Bentancur?
It's a head injury. He may not be out for a couple games, but like right now, we don't have a 6, man. Like if this whole Basuma thing,
Is Bissouma done?
Gone.
What happened to him?
He's
so
suspended.
apparently,
Smart whip. It was
Yeah.
on the smart whip, not just oxide.
Yeah,
He was
he was
doing
doing
illegal
some
laughing gas.
illicit substances, and the club banned him.
Class C
for
drugs.
shit.
Class C drugs. It was taking Class C drugs. That's what it is.
And
in the
also-
UK.
Oh
also-
my god!
Yeah,
Are you
he's never-
serious?
Yeah,
He was inhaling laughing gas. It was laughing gas, but it's categorized as a class C drug.
Yes,
because
in
of
the UK.
that. So in
Yes.
Not
so
yet, yeah, okay, it didn't happen.
That's what,
Napoli. Napoli
Whippets,
for-
basically.
he
smart
was
whip, smart whip, smart
He
whip.
was
Yeah.
basically laughing.
and guys,
laughing.
and guys, and actually, this is so. We'll come back to your point. When people talk about Arteta, and I always say this about defense for Arteta, is this: we had a bunch of players who were doing that when he first joined. Guendouzi, Lacazette,
Well, not
even our
everything's about
captain,
you, man. Come on, flipping hell, bro.
Ahmed, be quiet. -1.
Flipping hell, Arsenal 24/7, man. I'm
Be
getting
quiet.
tired of it.
-1.
Wallahi.
-1.
Can we just finish the show? Let me just ask
Anybody
this.
better.
William, how many points will Spurs get this season? I don't think he knows. How would you know?
72.
See? Okay, great answer.
69.
I will get my team to sign Mr. Ezi. Thank you, Donegal. I appreciate everyone that joined us. The name of the drug shall not be named. Kids watching. Thank you, everybody
hope
that
not.
watched us. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys soon. We are out of here, people.
Come on.